Oh, could you imagine if we just hosted another live stream? And we did it on a Tuesday night? A Tuesday night? When was the last time we hosted a live stream on a Tuesday night, ladies and gentlemen? If you guys remember, the last time we hosted a live stream on a Tuesday night, you might call yourself an OG because it's been that long.
Has been a minute.
We're back. Hello, everyone. What's up?
What's up?
Happy Tuesday evening, afternoon, morning, Wednesday morning, wherever you might be, actually.
Yeah.
We know we have some people watching right now. I think it's Wednesday morning for you guys.
Well, people also might be watching the replay.
Oh, true.
So it might not be Tuesday
So
night.
hello
when they're
to
watching
everybody in 2032. If you find yourself watching this live stream, there's no value in this for you. Unless the federal police is coming after me, then this could be it.
this. Oh, gosh.
Anyways, how you guys doing? What's up? Missed you guys. It's been a while. For those of you that know, we've posted 3 videos. Not only did we just post 3 videos, they were back to back to back.
But it was
videos.
also like one video
It was about one topic.
in 3 sections.
True, yes. But it's never happened before on this channel. Back to back to back, because we are back for an unknown amount of time. However, it's exciting to be here.
As long as we can.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Very excited to be in the Fright Club studio. As you guys can see, we do have another member with us. It's not just Stephanie and I and Hondo, but we also have Nico. Which,
Oh, watch out.
well, I know. They're taking a nap. It's their nap time. We're gonna let them rest, and then at the end of the stream, we'll bring them on so you guys can see the little guy. I say little, but he's grown tremendously.
He has.
He has really grown tremendously.
He's what do you think? Like 30 pounds now? 25?
I'd say about 22.
22?
Yeah.
He was 20 when we took him to the vet.
Okay, then he's like 90 pounds now. Oh my. Dude's getting big. He is. Anyways, hey, how are you guys doing? How's everybody doing? Miss you guys.
Good.
Hope you guys been having a good year so
Oh, I thought you
far.
were asking me. I'm like, I'm good.
How are you? How are you doing, Steph?
I will say I am just getting over a cold. You might have heard it in our last video, but if I sound stuffy, that's why.
This household,
So I apologize.
we've been battling.
Yes.
You don't have to apologize for that. It's okay. I'm pretty sure we would forgive you for your sickness.
Thank you.
I would, at least. I don't know about the chat.
We'll see.
They'll be fine with it. You guys are gonna have to deal with it 2.5 hours. Anyways, there are some. I just want to say this. Getting into this live stream, I forget how technical all this is. I didn't know if we were gonna be on time today for today's live stream. Like, we were having audio and visual technical difficulties today.
But that's nothing new.
It's nothing new. It's just we somehow made it on time, which is new.
That is new. Yeah.
So that's kind of like, I'm like, wait a minute, we should still be like fumbling around with stuff. However, there's buttons on here that I have set up. I don't remember like what they were, so I'm just gonna click one. hottest HHN gear around. Shop's not actually open. That was an old one.
We do want to get it open again soon.
We also have been chatting. We're going to be doing some new designs. And they might be some very limited exclusive designs, as in, I don't think any of you guys are gonna be able to buy it. We're gonna be able to rock it and wrap it. Anyways, I'm rocking the hoodie that we will be having back up in the shop soon. Anyways, yeah, I mean, I haven't played that in a long time. I just wanted to play it. So that was just me rewatching what I made a long time ago. Anyways, I hope you guys are having a great day. It's mid-March. This is usually like the kickoff of speculation season. Things start rolling around. Today's live stream, the main objective of tonight's live, we're really going to be focusing on those last 3 videos that we posted. It's so crazy for me to say that, the last 3 videos that we posted. I haven't said something like that in a long time, but we did our Halloween Horror Nights 2025 wish list, and we did a rapid fire edition. I thought doing something like that would help us have a little more fun in the studio making a video, but at the same time, because it's been a while since we've done that, just to kind of get us back into the flow of things.
Yeah.
And then it kind of make it a challenge, but also from a content perspective, it allows us to elaborate more on the items that we listed in a live stream like this, versus giving you guys a 2.5-hour video explaining exactly what we mean by some things. We can do that in the live. And what's really cool about the live stream aspect of it is we can chat live with you guys and see what you guys think about. And maybe you guys might have some ideas too we can discuss further.
That's what I was going to say.
I'm psychic. I can read your mind.
We always have this debate when we're thinking of videos. Well, used to. And when we were thinking of this video, we had this debate of like, should this just be a live stream? Because we want to talk to you guys about it. Like, we want to hear your feedback and your ideas. So we're like, should we do a video and a live stream? Just a live stream? Just a video? Maybe like a short video and then elaborate in a live stream?
I think there was like 9 different options we came out with. Yeah.
So what you got is what we ended up with, obviously. But every video, we kind of have that same process of like, should this just be a live stream? Because we like the long form content. We like being able to like talk to you guys and
I mean, we love the live streams.
Get the feedback like right away, like live, and then talk about it live. But we also really love making like videos and editing and all that.
It just feels fun. Yeah, I enjoy it. Let's do this real quick. In the chat, if you guys can, spam in the chat. Spam ones. I just want to see ones. If you guys have seen those last 3 videos, and spam 2, the number 2, if you guys haven't seen those last videos that we uploaded. I want to just kind of get a scale of how many people who have seen it and who haven't, because then I can see how we're going to present it.
You won't be in trouble if you say 2.
Nah, maybe you will, but that's okay. That's in the Hondo department. He'll do it.
It's like all ones.
Okay, I'm getting a lot of ones. Okay, cool. Because if not, then I would do like a kind of a recap of it. But if majority of everybody's kind of seen it, somebody said 9. I feel bad for that person. We'll work on that.
Is that a 9 or is that like a Q?
No, it's a 9. All right, I do see somebody said 2.
I saw a Q and a 9. It's 2 different ones.
Oh, there is a Q. Oh goodness. Okay. Well, majority of you guys seen it. For those of you who haven't, I saw it too in there. It's totally fine. What we're gonna do is basically.
Sorry.
Okay. Anyways.
9.
Chat.
I get it.
Chat. Hey, come on. Let's remember we got kids in the room. They're laying down over there on the couch. But anyways, so just kind of little brief recap. We did our Halloween Horror Nights 2025 wish list. We listed out items that we would like to see at this year's event. They are not haunted houses or properties that we want to see at the event. They're not scare zones. They're not ideas like that. That could be a live stream series down the road we can do. But as far as this is more of the layout, logistics, things that we could see from an operational standpoint that we believe could help enhance the event for more of a business perspective for Universal as a whole, as well as the fans who attend the event as well. That's the kind of thing that we're looking into, because I mean, I'm going to put this out here. Everybody can come up with an idea for a haunted house. Everybody can do it. Just throw me something that you've seen in theaters before. Sure, that could be a haunted house. Tell me some scenes. Sure. What we're interested in, especially with tonight's live, is more so, and this is going to be something that you guys are going to present to us too later in the live, is I want to know some ideas you guys have as far as additional things. As it could be something as simple as like another show. Cool. That's a plus. That's always a plus. More capacity, right? Location usages, different ticket options, anything of such nature like that, where it's the layout, the operational parts, the logistics. That's what we're into for tonight's live stream. And we're just gonna kind of go around with that. We're gonna talk about each of the items we have. We have a list. I think, Steph, you have it pulled up. We have the list of all the items that we listed in those videos. So we're gonna go through those. No particular order, just whatever we have written down. And we're just going to elaborate more on it. We're going to chat with you guys about it. We may even do some polls throughout here and there with it. And then I'll even throughout the night as we go through it. Buckle up. Tonight might be a long live stream, depending on how long these explanations go. But then we'll turn it over to you guys, too, for some of the ideas you guys might have. And just kind of see if we can just come up with random ideas. That'd be really cool for the event as an overall experience.
Yep.
That's pretty much what today's live stream is going to be. Like I said, strap in because it might be a long live stream. I'm thinking 2 hours or so.
Also, if you're dropping your ideas in the chat right now, that's totally fine. Save them, or not save them, but remember them for later.
Remember. Yeah, we'll bring it up. Also, by the way, I just got to pull this out. Guess what came in the mail today? Perfect timing. Look at this beauty. This just came in the mail today from a good friend of ours out in the West Coast. I had to put this on the stream. This was so cool. Opening this up, almost cried. It's amazing. It's also crazy that, like, isn't that crazy, right? Just the name.
Mm-hmm.
It's just all over the place. Brian's are taking over Universal.
Yep.
Be prepared, people. Be prepared. Now, before we do get into our wish list and all that stuff, I want to start with one thing. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a rapid fire Q&A. Boom, there it is. I clicked and I thought it came up, but it did not. So we're going to start off with a quick rapid fire Q&A. We're going to just pick a couple of random questions and stuff. If you guys have anything you want to ask away, now's the time. Just throw it out there and stuff. We'll get into all the wish list stuff soon. But in the beginning, I kind of want to just like chill a little bit. Just hang out, chat a little bit, talk, you know.
It's been a minute. Because
it's been a long time. I want to know what you guys have been up to. Anything cool that you guys been, having going on and stuff in life, Again, if you look at it from our perspective, we're just looking at a camera. So,
yes, that's true.
We're just talking to ourselves. Who knows? Maybe these are all fake people that we
I feel like you say that every time.
It's just crazy to think about. But yeah, just ask away some questions, and we will get into that. Also, I do want to say this. Was that the light? That's okay. It actually looks fine. Just leave it. Yeah, it's fine. It still works. Miles, Menus and Mysteries, welcome back to the Fright Club.
Oh, yes, welcome.
Welcome.
I think they're a new one. I think that channel is a new one.
Miles, Menus and Mysteries?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh.
It says new member.
Do you know who Miles, Menus and Mysteries
Yes,
are?
I know.
Because I don't know who they are. And then Braid Love, welcome back to the Fright Club. And Southridge Films, Fright Club member for 21 months. Can you turn the AC down? It's freezing in the walls. Actually, no. Sorry.
It is freezing in this house.
It is a little bit.
It always is.
That's the first question of Rapid Fire Q&A.
Yeah.
There you go. First one. All right, Steph. Scroll through the chat. Cool. See what questions you got.
Worst HHN year. I would have to say 2020.
I knew it. 2020. I don't think anything could beat 2020 is the worst one.
Yeah.
Worst one is one we haven't been to,
Yeah.
But
I feel like every year is like there's something good about every year. Like there's no year that's like that whole year sucked.
Let's rephrase this because I feel like worst is like, whoa, people will be like, oh, it's so negative. It's not though. It's just like, okay, what was our least favorite one? And it's hard because like you said, like if you look back at the ones we've been to, let's say at least from the ones that we've been covering in content. So 30 to now, right? Which gives you only 4. But obviously we've been to ones beforehand. There are a lot of wins within those years, and there have been some great, properties that we've gotten as haunted houses and scare zones and shows. And then on the flip end too, there have been some that just hasn't hit as much, and as well as even some logistic stuff too.
Just to remind you, this is rapid fire.
Oh my goodness, yeah, you're right. I'm ready to chill. Hey,
so
this is laid
2020.
back. All right, 2020. Lock it in. Next question.
Favorite house last year.
And that's the end of the time that we have for rapid fire.
Insidious.
Oh, Insidious. Yeah. And I would say too, like a very close second is Slaughter Cinema.
Oh yeah.
I keep
for
thinking
sure.
of Slaughter Cinema,
Cinema.
which might be a hint towards merch.
Tyler asks, favorite ride at Epic?
Haven't been on one yet.
I've been on 2. And that's it.
Anything in Monsters.
Yeah. I haven't been on, well,
We'll be there Saturday.
Friday and Saturday.
We're going Friday.
Yes, I keep telling you this.
Oh my god. My days have been really off, guys.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess we're gonna be there Friday and Saturday. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So we'll let you know. We don't know yet, but we'll let you know.
What do we have Friday? Oh yeah, we have that meeting in the morning.
Yes.
You guys want to know what the meeting's about?
No.
What?
Are you excited?
should tell him. You should tell him. Tell him.
It's just a wedding
Said
meeting.
you finally said yes. Stephanie, we're finally getting married. She finally said yes. Over
Finally.
32 years of me asking her, she finally said yes.
Are you excited for Dark Universe? No. Yeah, of course.
Absolutely. 2 more questions.
When do you really start feeling ready for spooky season? I would say July 5th. I mean, we're already getting like fall Halloween TikToks on our feed. So like
Year round, baby.
now, but like when we start decorating and all of that is like July 5th, once 4th of July is over.
Steph won't let me decorate the house Halloween year round.
No.
So it's on her for that one. Yeah, I mean, truthfully, like I'm in a Halloween mood 24/7. I have a dream. There is a location that's like 10 minutes away from us. And I've been surveying the land and trying to see how much it costs and how to buy it out and all that stuff. I want to build. Okay, ready? This will never happen because it's probably going to cost way too much. But my dream is there's a piece of land that's not too far from where Steph and I live that I want to purchase, and I want to build our own little Halloween town. Like year round, it's themed gothic Halloween vibes. And I want to have like a little like shopping little area that's got like restaurants and shops that sells like local artists like Halloween craft stuff. And it's always got like Halloween themed food and drinks, and it's just like pumpkin is the season year round. And I want our little like house, our little estate, like just a little off from that. That's on top of a little hill that has like bats and crows like circling around, and I want it to be like a Halloween destination that for anybody who lives in the scorching Central Florida weather that just wants to feel somewhat Halloween like, we can provide that in a location. And it could economically, I mean, we could provide jobs for people and host like shows and stuff like that. That is like a dream of mine. I know.
So do we have any investors
out there, please? Yeah, sharks. What do you think? Do you want to help a kid's dream come true for nothing in return for you?
For 2% stake in my company.
It's a zero or a non-profit business, by the way. Non-profit.
What do you think of roaming characters in Dark Universe?
What do I think of roaming characters?
Yeah.
Oh, I think it's necessary.
I think it's so cool. I did get to see, should I say this?
Sure.
I did get to see, so I did one of the team member preview days.
Just say you got to see one of the characters. Yeah.
Well, I didn't see one of the characters.
Oh, there you go. That was good.
He looked good. He looked good.
How did he
Even though
look good if you can't see him? I bet he looked good.
Anyway.
Nice.
But
yeah, I think it's cool. Yeah. Do one more, and then we're getting into it.
The only other question I see, or that's popping up, is, without me having to scroll, is will we stay through the full season doing YouTube?
That's a good question. We don't know.
We would like to know that as well.
I'd love to give you guys like all the information that I can. Here's what I'm going to say about our situation. We are going to try to make as much content as we can. Steph and I, we do have a content strategy,
Yeah.
right? There's always a term that I want to say, and it's not that, but I can't remember. Somebody said it, and I thought it was the coolest thing to use for it. It's
like
another
a roadmap?
Maybe that. No, I can't remember. Let's just use roadmap. Whatever. So we have a plan. And for this year, if we were to go through with everything that's on that plan, we would be producing, I believe it was 68 videos, 40 live streams. a lot. And then we would also have clips from the lives that we would post, which was around 25, I think. And then we also had Fright Club members exclusive videos and live streams, and that was around 30 from now. It's around March to August. So we had a lot of content that we have planned up. The possibility of us putting out there is questionable, but we're going to try to do as much as we can while respecting the guidelines that we're in as well. Yeah. We just want to try to give you guys as much as we can. And
we miss it. We love making content and just being in the community.
Absolutely. I miss sitting here and just talking to dead space in our house.
And I miss it because like Brian gets to go talk about this stuff, but I don't. So
yeah, true.
I miss it. Yeah. So we're doing it for me.
It's all for you.
Yep.
No, you know what's cool though? It's like last season, like there was a part of us that felt like it was missing for Halloween Horror Nights. And we've talked about this before where it's like it felt like really we were just missing a part of our family. Like something felt like it was just severed, right? And it was because obviously we don't have this ability to chat with you guys with the lives and stuff like we used to. So like getting back into doing that feels great because it's like, oh man, it's like I missed you guys. Like we get to talk. Like how you guys been? You know, what you guys been up to? So that's kind of like what we're doing, and it's been fun. It's something that, you know, and even just to kind of put out there too, you know, when I'm getting too far into this, but like a lot of the times too, even in the off season, like I'll look back at videos on our channel that Steph and I did. I'm like, oh, I remember when we did this and said that and stuff, and it's like a cool little like time capsule that I have of our being, I guess you could say.
That's like one of the main reasons why we started YouTube in general was to just have like videos of us at the theme parks to like look back on.
Just to watch.
Yeah. Cool.
That's
I think
cute.
that was it.
All right. Thanks for the longest rapid fire Q&A segment of
well, you didn't put a timer,
history.
So that's on you.
I guess. But again, it started with the first question. I was given this monologue for it. You're like, hey, rapid fire. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. By the way, man, I hope you guys have been good. I hope you guys have been good. Missed you guys a lot. We truly have. But now, ready to get into the wish list?
Yeah, let's do it.
This is it, folks. This is what this whole live stream is all about. So we did Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. This past week, we uploaded 3 videos, part 1, 2, and 3 for HHN 2025 wish list. We had, I believe, 18 items on there. I think there's a couple more that we didn't put in the videos. It's in there. And we're just going to go down the list. So Steph's she's going to mention the one that we're going to come up to. And we'll just talk about it. We'll talk about exactly what the idea is, how we would do it, and all that stuff. We'll turn it over to you guys to see what you guys think of it. What would you guys tweak about it, enhance if you like it, if you don't, and then as well as other ideas you guys might have. Excuse me. Other ideas that you guys might have as well. We're just going to be doing that. And really, we'll try to do it as chilled, as laid back as we can. We're just going to hang out and have a good time. I can see we have about 100 viewers right now watching us live. So shout out to you guys. Also put in the chat where you guys are watching from. I remember I used to do this last year in the beginning. It's like, where are you guys watching from? I want to know. I believe we have people out in the UK that's watching right now. I think Team Randall. Yeah, I see you guys. I know you guys are way out there, which it's got to be like the middle of the night. Somebody said the walls. Yeah.
Somebody.
They need help. Yeah, so let's see what we got. We got Atlanta. We got Texas, Portland, California.
The Highlands.
Highlands of Scotland. That was the worst Scottish accent I've ever did. I didn't even try to do a Scottish accent, but then I was like, midway I should.
You're just going for it.
Let's not remember that. We got Fort Lauderdale.
Providence.
Somebody said Woods of Terror out in Greensboro, but I thought that's a Tower of Terror. But yeah, Woods of Terror.
The Tower of Terror.
The Tower of Terror. No, but that's the Woods of Terror. That's in Greensboro, North Carolina.
Is that the
What's
actual
up, Scorn?
name?
It's the haunt.
Yeah, but oh.
It's the haunt.
I was like, is that the name of the town?
It should be its own town.
Scary.
The Woods of Terror. Shout out to Woods of Terror for watching. Chicago, Providence, Rhode Island, Baton Rouge, Iowa, Pensacola, Minnesota, Winter Haven, right down the road from us. Orlando. What is Orlando? Is that like a continent?
LA.
New Jersey.
Baton Rouge.
Texas. Nashville. All the way in Claremont. You're like right down the road from us. Yeah. Are you our neighbor? You're a neighbor. We got Gainesville, Connecticut, St. Pete. Nice. Los Angeles, Massachusetts. Sweet. So we got people all over the place.
Yeah.
You guys really have nothing else better to do?
Why do you always ask them that?
Sometimes like I have like that third person experience where I'm like, why would you watch us? And I'm just trying to stay humble, you know? New York, Missouri. I can't see. Where's that, Montana? Is that MO? Oh, is that MO's Missouri, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, MO's Missouri.
What is
Right?
What is Montana then? MN.
Yeah. Missouri,
right?
Missouri. Yeah. All right.
MT,
Okay.
is that Montana?
Yeah, I think MT is Montana.
Oh, okay.
Michigan,
MI.
Maine,
ME.
Maryland. This is a
I
test
don't
for
know.
you. Stuff's geography test.
I am so bad at
That's
geography.
pretty good. No, that was good. You did good. Proud of you. MD, Maryland. There you go. Nice.
Anyway.
Okay, back to what this is about. So Steph, if you want to kick us off, we're going to go to the first item on our wish list. What thou is it?
Was not correct, but the first one is new tents having a hub location. So we kind of got this last year, which was something that before the event started,
Excuse me.
we could see the aerial footage and the map and all that of like those two tents back there. And I know everybody's main concern was like, that's a lot of walking. Like, and you're going to put two of them back there, long lines. I hope there's a bathroom. And
Yeah.
that was one thing that they did. They did put portable restrooms and not just porta potties. Like they were
It's like a
in
trailer in a way, but it was much more enhanced. Which
yeah,
is good.
I don't think either of us used them.
No.
So I don't know what they look like inside.
I'm good on
But they did have those. They had like a drink cart. But what we would really love is maybe some seating area, especially if you're like standing in those lines for so long. And then also a food booth with like real food, not just like.
Well, like,
is there any food?
Like the
out there?
HHN food.
Yeah.
You know, like
What I mean is not just like a bag of chips.
Yeah, no. Like if they have like maybe one of the booths is themed to one of the houses that's actually at that location.
We got one comment that said they were pretty nice bathrooms, and then the next
very
comment
next one.
they were horrible.
Yeah, we didn't go to that.
It probably depends on how busy it was when you went.
I was about to
and
say, yeah.
what point in the night you went.
There were moments where like that area was just packed with people.
Yeah.
So like it's a just pop-up bathroom, you know? I mean, it's the best they could do.
But it's
it's
also-
better than like the porta potty situation.
Oh, for
I'm
sure.
happy they went with that route.
Yeah.
So yeah, kind of getting into that idea of like treating it like a hub. What I loved that Universal did with this was the entrance was by Men in Black. It used to be the Men in Black sprung tent that was there,
Yes.
which I miss dearly. I still believe we could bring that back.
It had issues.
Yeah, I still think we can bring that one back. We'll talk about that later.
And have all three.
Yeah.
No.
No.
you can't
Yes.
do that.
No, you can.
Anyway.
We'll talk about that in a second. But what I love is the fact that they had the entrance they did. I love how it was like one main entrance to go to this area. It wasn't like they had, okay, you can only go in this one line to go to this one house all the way, and then you have to come back, go in this line to go to the other. They knew like they had it all set up. It was well done. And it reminds me of Hollywood, how I think the Curious George lot was, where you had, when we went at the time, 23, it was Chucky and Classic Monsters.
Yes.
And it was just like a little hub, little area. I thought that was perfect because what we did is like we went over there, and the same with here in Orlando for last year.
We just do both.
Yeah, we went in that area. We're like, we're just going to do both of these houses right here, knocked it out, and then that's it. We don't have to go back there.
Which also made it so that every once in a while, both of those houses back there would have a very low line. Like they would both be like 15 minutes. So you could like rush back there and get like two done at once.
And even like for the Scream Early like portion in like the first hour or two, like you could really knock those two houses out a couple of times too before it really started picking up. But I love the way that they did that. I thought that was smart. I hope they continue that. I think they will. I think it's set up for that. But what would be really nice is if they do set up like a food booth over there. And then especially what you said, I didn't think of this, but when you mentioned that, I was like, oh, that's a great idea. Like seating, just like some benches or some little pop-up benches. You guys remember when, for those of you that attended last year and you went back there for Goblin's Feast and Classic Monsters, when you went in that direction, before you got to the entrances of the houses, when you looked right, you could see the queue line for Slaughter Cinema, and you could see the entrance and all that. In that area, that's where it was kind of opened up. Remember, it's just kind of open space. They definitely could put a food booth over there in that spot with some tables, or I guess like the little like high top little tables and a couple seating arrangements, I guess, whatever they could do.
Yeah, they were. I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time breathing.
Take your time. Take your time. Proud of you. You already made it in like 40 minutes almost.
But there were a few times we would be leaving that area and there were just people kind of like sitting on the ground or on the curb. And obviously that's not ideal. So if they had some sort of seating back there, and especially if they did add a food booth, you'd want to have tables or something for people to at least stand at, if not sit at.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a comment in there that I want to get to as well on break. I'm just going to mention it real quick. Is B108 and B79 still out of play? I don't know.
My guess is yes, because they are bringing back Mega Movie this year.
Yeah, so I'm assuming that they're not planning to use it anytime soon, but I hope they can find a way to, because that'd be great. But anyways, I think what we got was a good replacement.
Oh, for sure.
And that's the thing. Like, the parade buildings were one of my favorite locations for HHN haunted houses. Like, I loved the parade buildings, and they were grand enough in scale to house great houses. I mean, we've had great houses there in the past. Classic Monsters, we had Scenes of Extinction, we had Haunting of Hill House, The Weekend, we have Graveyard Games, Beetlejuice was back there, Legends Collide was back there, Unmasked is back there. There were so many great houses that were back there. I might have left a few out. So when it was announced that we were losing those, I was actually really like heartbroken. Especially because that's Steph and I met in Classic Monsters in 2019 at B108.
Several of our favorite houses were in B108.
Back there. Yeah, absolutely. So I was a little like, oh no, like what are they doing? But when they announced that we were getting these sprung tents and we saw the size and scale of it, I was like, okay, like this is gonna be all right.
I also don't miss having to walk through that ETQ all the way to B79 and then all the way back out, and then if you wanted to go to B108 you have to go all the way back and then all the way back out.
Yeah, or even B108 when you went all the way to B108 and then you had to walk all the way past the ETQ to come out. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, like that style, like but
so I think this is actually a better setup.
This is, yeah. Now, if they could bring those two back in addition to this, I mean, great. I wouldn't complain of the long walk. Welcome to HHN 92, 37 haunted houses, 52 scare zones.
We're using every single building we got.
Open year round. Yeah, right. No, that's in Vegas. So, yeah, so the last year little location that we had, that hub, was a big one. It'd be great to have like a food booth, though. And I don't think, as a business term, it makes sense to have the food booth open all night. I think it closes at like midnight when it starts to die off back there. I think just adding the food booth like that would really help. Because I think that area was a success and it was really busy during the middle of the run. And I think something like that could help, and maybe even like help them profit a little bit too, while people wait in line. Because there are times like those lines were like 90 minutes long and you're just constant switchbacks and stuff. And imagine having like a little drink cart with the food booth there and stuff. Like, they can capitalize off of some guests and stuff for sure.
They did have drink carts, but food would be nice.
Yeah, enhance it a little bit more. I think that'd be great.
Should we move on?
Mucho great. What do you want to do a poll for the idea?
Sure.
Just see if people think that's a good idea or not. Or should we just have them spam in the chat so you don't have to make the poll? All right, just do the spam in the chat. What do you guys think? Spam 1s in the chat if you guys are down for them to add a food booth back there. Or spam 2 if you think it's not an ideal idea.
Ideal idea.
Ideal idea.
Ideal idea.
Ideal. Hey, we got Steph laughing at, what, 9:13? That's good.
We're bad.
It could be very much the opposite effect. It could be very bad.
ones across the board.
Ones. I see it too. You're banned.
I think it's just Justin.
Yeah, get him out of the chat. He's banned. Somebody said bring back the nurses with the shots in line. That would be awesome. I would love to have that back, but I never got to experience that.
Yeah, we never did that.
But I think that'd be cool. I think they and here's the thing. You're mentioning something that actually does come up. You're talking about the queue line. We're gonna talk about the queue lines big time. I think the biggest thing we have on this list is the queue line. Like enhancement features. We have some things in that. So when that comes up, that'll be a long segment. But that's one that we went over, which was the hub location back there. We still have like 17 more to go. And you see, we're already 40 minutes in the live, so it's gonna be a long live stream, folks.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, no, but we got a lot of ones, so a lot of people agree with that. Cool. All right.
I mean, who wouldn't want the option for more food?
Yeah, right. I mean,
they're not forcing you to buy it.
Somebody, I can't remember who it was. They commented on one of our last videos. They were like, watch your videos, and pretty much all you were saying was like more HHN. And I'm like, yeah, absolutely, you know? And they were like, that's never a bad thing, you know? Like, no. Yeah.
More.
More!
Our next one is the return of Premium Scream Night. We heard a lot of good things about Premium Scream Night last year from people who went. We did not.
Who here in the chat attended Premium Scream Night last year? Anyways, keep going. Sorry.
We did not attend it, but we heard great things. So if they bring it back, which we hope that they do, we might do it this year, depending. But we would love to see an additional night in the middle of the event.
Yes. I was about to say, like Steph said, you know, we might do it. No, we will do it if they go the route of having a Premium Scream Night after opening night.
Yeah.
We don't want to experience the first experience of HHN not being like the opening night, the grand opening of Halloween Horror Nights.
Yeah. I've been for team member nights, and it just doesn't feel like opening night because it's not as crowded, which is like the highlight of going to Premium Scream Night.
Yeah.
But like,
oh, and they had weren't they like pulsing through houses and stuff? They had some other things too.
Which all of those things are so cool. But on opening night, we want like the crowds and the feeling of like opening night. So we would definitely do it if they did it in the middle of the event as well.
Yeah, for those of you who I see a couple of people attended, what did you guys think of opening or Premium Scream Night? Did you guys enjoy that? See, somebody said their scare actors brought their A game for Premium Scream Night. That's awesome.
Yeah, Fred said it was weird seeing Nightmare Fuel at half capacity. That's what I mean. Is like, I don't know, walking through the gates at the beginning and it being like a handful of people, it just doesn't feel right.
Yeah, excuse me. I think it was a huge success, and I hope they bring it back this upcoming event. But I'd love to see, like Steph said, something in the middle of the event, because that is something we would pay for. Like, honestly, like, give me an October 1st, October 3rd date, and I'll pay for that, because that to me is like, oh, like that feels like, all right, we're getting the prime deal of an HHN ticket right here.
It also would be nice later in the event because you have less of a chance of rain. That first week is always rainy. So you kind of like are flipping a coin if it's going to rain on that night or not. And you pay a decent amount of money. Like you don't want it to rain. Oh, no, nobody wants it to rain. Yeah, no, I think, I don't think we need to spend too much time on this one. Yeah. We'd love to see Premium Scream Night return, period. But I'd love to see it after opening night, and more particularly like that first weekend of October. I think it'd be great. Somebody commented on that video too, saying they'd love to see it like maybe potentially the last night of the event. Like the last night of the event is a Premium Screaming Night, or even after. But yeah, we'll see. What's up? Tyler brought up something that we didn't have on our list that could be added to our list.
Oh, what's up?
I wonder if Frequent Fear plus Express will be capped heavily again this year. I will put that on the list.
I don't even know if I want to talk about that right now.
Not be capped, Or let us know. Like, just tell us when it's going to be released and that it's going to be limited.
Okay, let's talk about that, right? Let's reverse what you said there and let's put it on the wish list as this. What we would love to see is more open communication and transparency from Universal's side on when they're going to talk about releasing tickets.
Yeah. If they're going to be limited, just tell us when you're dropping them so everybody can be ready to go.
And that's the thing. I think, and here's a way to twist it, like marketing, just to make it fun, right? Like have a little teaser video that's 5 seconds long. It's got the Horror Nights vibe to it and feeling, and it's got a date on that. And then below it just like mentions something about tickets, and people know that's the day tickets are going to come out.
You could literally just tweet tickets released this day.
Yeah, tickets will be released for Halloween Horror Nights. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Halloween Horror Nights 2025 tickets will be released on blah, blah, blah. I was about to say a date. People are like, oh my God, that's going to be the date. No. I'm going to get a phone call here in a second. But no, it's like tickets and that will be released on this day. And so with Express will be limited to an amount or whatever. So people know, okay, that day I have to prep to get on the site to get them as soon as possible. Because what happened to us this last year was I had everything pulled up in the morning. I was like 7, 6, 8 a.m. or whatever. Notification, like, oh, they're up. I had them in my cart. I had our tickets, but I didn't buy them because I was going to talk to Steph to see if that's the option we wanted to do, or if we were going to do a higher option, or we were going to go lower. I wanted to talk to Steph. Steph was working that morning, and I think I had the day off, right, from work, or I think I went in later.
I don't know.
But I had them, and I was like, we'll go on it later. She's on a phone call right now. We're working a meeting and all that stuff. And within like an hour or two, I go back to go my cart to buy them, and it said there's an error. And I looked where everybody was saying, they were like, oh, they're sold out. I was like, what?
Yeah.
That's never happened. We're not going to get into the details of like what happened with all that, because I don't know. I don't want to be reminded. But yeah, it'd be really cool if like Universal did like a little teaser video and was like, gave a date, little fog thing, and said tickets will be released on this day.
And we don't mind them being limited. I mean, if that worked better for them this year, fine. We've never had any issues with Express being long, so we didn't think that was necessary. But if that worked better for them this year, great. Just let us know when they're going to be released so we can be ready.
We've never had issues with Express. Not saying that there has been, but everybody we've talked to, I don't know. Yeah. We saved money last year. I think that was the least amount of money we spent at Halloween Horror Nights. I'll tell you that.
That is true.
Felt nice.
Our next one was individual original house shirts.
Yes.
Again, just more.
I think this one's a fun one because obviously, like, Stephanie is like the queen of like HHN designs here, in my opinion.
In this house, yes, because I'm the only one.
I can't design. No, but like you got like cool stuff, right? Obviously, but there are original haunted houses that we love, and we would just love nothing more than to see their own like haunted house shirt.
We need like a Wicked Growth shirt. We need like a.
No, keep talking.
We need a Slaughter Cinema shirt. We need like individual shirts for each of those original houses. I think that would be really cool. We do get them for most of the IPs. We just don't get them as much for original houses, which tend to be a lot of our our favorite houses. Like a Darkest Deal shirt, that'd be so cool.
Yeah, Slaughter Cinema, Wicked Growth. No, we had Wicked Growth as stuff. I think you mentioned.
I mean, they have a little boo.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Like
Pumpkin Lord. But...
Yeah, but I mean, Case Files. Unless Case Files did, I can't remember. But like last year, like I know somebody mentioned this in a comment too. Like Goblin's Feast, having like Goblin's Feast like own like HHN shirt, that'd be cool. Just things like that, I thought would be really neat.
Yeah. Cool.
Chat. If there's one original haunted house that we've had at HHN that you would love to see as its own shirt, what would that be? I'd love to know. What would that be? And we'll design it for you.
Graveyard Games?
Darkest Deal, Graveyard. Yeah, Graveyard Games. Awesome.
Scarecrow.
Ooh, Scarecrow.
Didn't they have a Scarecrow one?
I'm not sure.
Maybe not. I don't know.
Dead Man's Spirit Body Collectors. That person's old.
Major Sweets.
Major Sweets. Chucky Ultimate Kill Count.
They have plenty of Chucky merch.
Plenty of Chucky. Scary Tales. Scary Tales would be really cool.
Seeds of Extinction. Oh, that was
Yeah.
good.
Scream House. Wow.
Blood Moon.
Yeah, see? I mean, Bugs. Yeah, even Bugs.
Bugs.
Yeah. I forgot Bugs was a thing.
Spirits of the Coven.
Yeah, see.
It could be cool.
But see, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's plenty of stuff that could be made, which we need, which... I don't know. I'm looking at you and I'm like, could you make
I
us
don't
one,
have
please?
any of the... I don't have anything I would
Please.
need to make it.
Please. Help us.
If you have a time machine and a media pass, so I can go in and take photos.
I have a DeLorean. I don't have the media pass, though.
Dang.
All right. Well, look, Descendants of Destruction. Remember that one? That was good.
Oh, yeah.
Vamp 69. Scare Zone thrown in there. I like that. Hellblock Horror. See, I'd be down for Hellblock Horror. I know everyone's like, oh, but it wasn't that great of a house, but like the characters that were featured in that were featured in a lot of other things that'd be cool. So it'd be cool to see a mashup. Remember, I'm just talking about the merch.
Yeah.
Just the merch. I think it gives a lot of ability, if you will.
Cool.
Yeah. So when he said, do you need some plutonium? I can't speak on that legally. Sorry. All right, next one on the list. What you got?
Return of a fan favorite food item.
Also, you keep saying return of, and I keep thinking of the Jedi. Return of the Jedi.
Gosh.
All right. Anyways, return of the fan favorite food item.
Yes.
Explain that one, please.
So Brian's idea for this, he came up with this, was it would essentially be like those surveys that they do, but they would add.
Not a survey.
All right, then you explain it.
So, okay. This is gonna kind of go in with the cue lines in a way. Relax, buddy. You're good. Can you guys hear the little man whining over there? Anyways, so this we'll talk about this more in a way with the cue lines. I desperately want HHN and Universal to be a little more interactive and engaged with the event and their fans even more. And it'd be really cool. Yeah, more HHN. That should be the theme of this live stream, is more HHN, right? And it'd be really cool to see them kind of like take that opportunity to really interact with the community, kind of like what we're doing right here, like where we're able to talk with you guys. We're able to put a poll up and see what you guys think, and maybe that could persuade some creative minds into doing some other things, you know? And really to this idea is they would host a poll at the end of the event, towards the end of the event, could be like the last week or even a week or two after that, where fans could then do an actual live poll where they would give a time. It's like a week long. You have a week long to put in your answers, send it in here, text 8277 slasher, and send in what food item, whatever, you know. And whatever the most popular food item of that year's event is that gets voted on, that will make a return for the next event. And then that next event, that food will be there, but then that food item cannot be in the running for that poll. And so the other food items that are there, they could then be brought up to be blah, 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 you know, moved on to the next year. So a fan who, let's say, loved the Haunting of Hill House brisket sandwich that was so good, could potentially have the lucky ability to see it next year as well, one more time. And we're big foodies. We love food. Who doesn't love food? And some Halloween Horror Nights foods that's come out over the past few years have been like really good, and some of our favorite. And it'd be nice to see some of them come back. It'd be cool to be able to feel like you have a say in that and give food a kind of more valuable pedestal within the event, which would be nice.
Really like that Goiza.
Yeah, the Goiza was really good. Yeah.
Good.
The No Chance in Hell PB&J. You guys remember that?
And the lentil.
Yeah, the Sambusa.
Yeah,
coffin.
Sambusa coffin. But
That
how
was
it was
good.
the first year. They changed
The first year
it.
was better. I agree. Yeah,
They made
they
it
have to.
potato.
They have to keep it exactly the same. They can't tweak anything. They have to keep it the same.
Yeah.
Cordyceps corn dog. That was delicious. Just give it a different name. You know.
Yeah.
Things like that, right?
Child.
Yeah, I can hear him whining. But I think that'd be really cool because I think a lot of the fans that go to Halloween Horror Nights really look forward to the food. So I feel like something like that could be fun. And then, hear me out, the team members who were involved in the creative idea of that food item and who worked in that booth can get a company incentive for getting the most favorited food item that was voted in their booth. Even the booths could have like votes for
Joke's
it
on
too.
you, it's just one guy. He does
Maybe.
all the food.
And it's me. But no,
He's
like,
trying to get himself an incentive.
but even the personnel who worked there, the chefs and all that stuff, and maybe they can get like a company like gift card or something like that for just being a part of making it and working there. I think that could be a cool competition for even the team members there too.
Yeah. I would also love some, this is just a request, like
Approved.
not even
Granted.
not even part of this, but I would love, because people are talking about the type of food that they want, I'd love some food that's like healthy or not even healthy, but just like light.
They're
lot.
bodybuilder friendly.
A lot of the food is very heavy, and there were a few times last year where we would have a night where we're like, okay, we're gonna get a few things this night, and then the next day we were both like not feeling great.
I think that's also just us because
We overdo it when we have a day where we
when also
eat a
when
bunch of food.
when you track and you eat the same stuff every single day year after year, and you go one night where you eat all this stuff, I'm pretty sure your stomach's gonna yell at you for it.
hurts.
It does hurt, but it tastes so
I
good.
know, but I want like, I don't know, like a nice little salad or like a cold sandwich, not like a greasy one.
Halloween Horror Nights Cold Dead Body. It's just like a cold sandwich.
Some chicken. Sounds great.
Roadkill.
I love
The
it.
frozen tundra. Sweet. So yeah, well, I'm pretty sure, like you said, people were writing in the chat.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna scroll. I'm gonna see something. Heartbeat tostada. Loved that, by the way.
I did like that. And that was
That was
one
good.
that was a little bit lighter.
Yeah.
Just like more things like that. I love that.
Yeah. So yeah, just like things like that, grilled chicken bowl. Yeah. What if we get like protein bowls?
Oh, I like that.
Right.
It'd be like $30.
Like a $20 like protein bowl that's got like rice, beans, chicken, corn, salsa, tomato, like mixed up and stuff. And it's like
That's why we
solid,
just
but-
go to Moe's.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we do a lot because you can track that.
Yeah.
Welcome to Moe's.
Anyway, let's move on.
Taylor said,
To-
"I missed you guys. I missed you too. Missed you too."
A haunted house in the Hollywood Scare Zone area.
It's a big one.
So last year, the last 2 years, last 2 years, we have not had a house in that direction because the Shrek,
Last year, just last year,
we had a,
just last year.
what was the house there 2 years ago?
No. Okay. The concept of this was because you never had to go through Hollywood or Central Park. You can just go around the park and hit all the houses and come all the way around.
Yeah.
The 2 years ago, we did have Unmasked at ET, so you could cut through.
Oh, yeah. Sure, whatever. Last year,
We'll be right back, folks.
you could hit all of the houses without going on the right side of the park at all. You could literally hit all the houses on the left and then just go back out
Yeah, going
And-
straight to New York.
and not see Demon Queens or
I believe in you.
that other one,
What is it? What was at Central Park last year, Steph?
the Bayou. I don't remember what it's called. My brain is blanking. Oh, yes.
Swamp.
I'm just going to let you do it.
I want you to say it. You got this.
Anyway, you
The chat's probably
you
saving you right
wouldn't
now.
have to go through either of those zones if you didn't want to and do everything else in the park.
If you were going there mainly for haunted houses and you didn't have a specific order, you were just hitting whatever you can see first, you can go straight to New York, all the way around San Francisco, go to World Expo, and then work your way back and never really have to go through Hollywood or Central Park. So this idea was, okay, how do we put a house in that area where it could force you to go through Hollywood and Central Park? And I know I'm going to get some people that's like, well, technically, Brian, you still don't even have to go through Hollywood or Central Park for this. Yes, I get that. But the main thing was we're trying to find a location, and I think the Esoteric Gates could host another house location where you then could have people go through Hollywood in Central Park and helping split that park up with the capacity, as well as helping people come off the scare zones and into that house. The esoteric could be a location. I don't want to get too much into the details of this because I feel like I really want to make a video for you guys on this. Because I think this could be a video.
House in the esoteric gate?
So you argued with me about this after the fact that you agreed with me on it. So I just want to put that out there for context for you guys. So I would love for them. And back there, they have a building called the EPC, and they have some other like trailers and stuff, right?
Would not work.
Those, she says it would not work, but just imagine like making it bigger and new.
There's no room to make it bigger.
Okay, I'm gonna blow your mind. Ready? 2-story building. I know, crazy. But it's just like a parade building or a soundstage. They would have enough room to section off an area that could be for entertainment. It's plenty of room, and plenty of room for a small house. You have Fast and Furious. That location, it's a very small house that was Major Suites, and it was very successful last year.
They would have to like completely get rid of the EPC altogether and rebuild a whole building there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Flatten that area and then build up new ones instead of having.
Not gonna
like,
happen.
the same thing too is it's back by the sprung tents, the new ones. You guys know where those old trailers that you see back there, like completely like build new buildings. Like,
what if they just paved all of Universal and just remade the whole thing?
Sure, I'm pretty sure they're on that route right now. But no, I'm thinking of an area, and I feel like if they were to find a way to incorporate a house in that location, that could then draw more crowds that fill that area like we used to have with the Shrek building, even though the Shrek building was technically still kind of right in the front, but that got people into the Hollywood area. And even when, like, for instance, when we're in World, here's a better way to explain this idea, why I think it's beneficial. When we're in World Expo and we're thinking of like, okay, we want to go to one of the houses up in the front, or we want to go, we want to go to another haunted house. We never had to go through Central Park. We never had to go back to Hollywood. Majority of the time, we would end up going back through San Francisco because there's more houses along that path that we could stop off at. If we're like, oh, this one's a low weight, we can do this. And then we just hit the scare zones there. We never found ourselves going through Swamp or Demon Queens as much because of that. Really, we didn't go through Demon Queens a lot. And I think it's because there wasn't that house draw to force us to go through the scare zone much. We found ourselves mainly in the New York, San Francisco area. So if they can find a way to...
There's just no space back there.
I'm pretty sure they can figure it out. I mean, Epic wasn't a thing until they bought land and they built something. I'm pretty sure they can find a way to
just
zone off.
Bulldoze Hard Rock and just put it back there.
If you want to do that, that's your idea. That's not mine. I want to know. I kind of want to pull up an aerial photo of that area. If
You'll
anybody,
be shocked how small that area is.
Were you shocked that they put a tent in Fast and Furious and made a haunted house there?
It's different.
It's the same thing.
No, it's.
You said it's small for this area.
All right. I have come to learn that I don't argue with Brian because he is relentless.
I will
never yield.
I will always fight for you people, for you fans of Halloween Horror Nights.
So, yes, it can happen. Will it? No, but it could.
A lot of things that I put out there will never happen. That I've come to grips with. I understand that. I get it.
Let's move on. So
what does the people think?
What do you guys want another house? Like, who's gonna say no to that?
You.
I'm not saying no that I don't want it. I'm saying no that it's not gonna happen.
Do you guys think that that's possible?
No.
See, I think the question of is it possible and that's an idea is two different things. I think you're looking at it as like, okay, is that idea possible versus the idea itself? Like, do you like the idea itself of having a house in an esoteric location?
I don't know. It's not black and white.
You guys hear that? Let me go attend them.
Crazy.
Do you want to bring the next one up for the folks?
Yeah. So the next one is a popular one. It is the Lagoon Show. So we all know why we would want the Lagoon Show back. Obviously, we want more offerings. We want more entertainment, more houses, all the things. and we loved the Lagoon show. So obviously we would want to bring it back. Obviously we would want to bring it back. But more so than just entertainment, another thing to do at HHN, it also helps with crowd flow. It, you know, eats up some of the crowd
Capacity.
and it also is just great for the atmosphere. Sometimes it can overwhelm the sounds and the music in that Central Park
yeah.
zone. However,
and San Fran in a way in between.
yeah. However, when you're walking around like the Transformers area over by like Sting Alley and all of that, without that Lagoon show, like all of the night, literally every night, all night, it's just like dark and quiet over there. And they did help a little bit with this last year in that bar area. Do you know what I'm talking about? They put some lights, they put some music, they put the scare actors up there. That helped a little bit, but I really miss the atmosphere around the lagoon, like while the lagoon was going on. You didn't even have to be like seated and watching the show, and you still could enjoy like the music and the lights and all of that.
Yeah. One of my biggest things that I've loved about Halloween Horror Nights so much is not necessarily the houses or the scare zones. It's just the atmosphere itself. The energy that the event has brought, and that love really hit to another level back in 2018 and 2019. And 2019 specifically, when we had the Lagoon show, and we had the music loop for the park, for the event going on, and it just felt like there was never a dead zone for me. I know Universal for Halloween Horror Nights needs to have what are like considered like safe zones, safe spots. So you're not always constantly getting scared. They need to have those little breaks, and I think that's fine. But as far as like the music and the atmosphere and the energy is going, I think that should always be a thing consistently throughout the park. And having that Lagoon show really like fills up those areas that are dead, like especially around like, like Illuminations, that little meet and greet area in the Minion Land. Like having that Lagoon show does fill up that area a little bit. So yeah, I mean, as far as like, obviously it'd be nice to have another show. Yeah, I think that'd be great, and the Lagoon show was very popular. I thought it was amazing. But from a logistics standpoint, it does help with capacity. It eats up the crowds. So you don't have as many people waiting in line for haunted houses or just wandering around the scare zones. So it does draw in some crowds. And then the other thing too is when you are walking around, you do have that atmosphere filler, which I think
that's the biggest
Halloween
thing
Horror
for
Nights
me.
is so important. Yeah.
Yeah. This is kind of off topic, but I want to bring it up before I lose the comment. Blip said, honestly, I don't know why they don't just have a pop-up museum. It wouldn't be a house per se, but it'd be something cool to do or see, like costumes from the past, etc. Which we've talked about them doing some sort of like show sort of thing in horror makeup, which I think
That is an item.
is an item, so we can kind of get more into that. But
Yeah,
I've always said it would be cool to do that in the horror makeup area.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
Yeah, we can bring that up.
Yeah,
later.
It's a good idea though. I like it, and you are on track. Cool. Nice. All right, what do we got next on the list?
The food lanyard.
Okay. This one I don't feel like we need to take too long on. I think it's very simple. I like what they do with Mardi Gras.
Do they even do that anymore then?
I like what they do with Mardi Gras with the gift card. And I know people who buy the gift card, they use it for Halloween Horror Nights. But before the gift card, they had a lanyard, right? So to answer your question, no, they don't do that anymore. But I like the gift card. It'd be cool if they also offered the gift card during Halloween Horror Nights, and you can get a Halloween Horror Nights specific gift card. I think people would love to have that because it's for weird fans like me. I like to collect those.
Yeah, we do the Epcot cookie stroll every year, and we don't even like a lot of times the same cookies. We don't really want to eat that many cookies, but we do it anyway because we're like, it's like a challenge to complete it.
Yeah, it's a completion. And is that more for the lanyard part than the gift card?
Yeah, for the
Oh,
lanyard. Because
okay,
it's like
okay.
you have,
Yeah.
it'd be something where like you get this many like punches or stamps. So you're like going through the night. It's almost like you're like, ooh, what do I want to use this on? Rather
Yeah.
than like a gift card, it's so much focused on like it's actual money.
Yeah.
You know
So
what I mean?
so back to the gift card. What I was saying, I think people would love to have like an HHN specific gift card. So it'd be cool if they added that. And then getting to the idea that like Steph was bringing up with the lanyard itself, like as a local, like that would be our day. Like we would plan to go to Halloween Horror Nights as we have in the past, where we're like, all right, today we're just focusing on food, and we could have this lanyard where we're like, this is gonna be our day. We're gonna go around food booths and we're gonna punch these off. We're gonna see how much we can, we got 10 items we can get. What items is that gonna be? We can plan that out. And I just think it'd be a lot of fun too. And if people are going for like a single night and who do invest in getting a lanyard, they might not punch all of those little tickets out and stuff. So it might be a beneficial part for Universal to make money on. And, they can look at the logistics for it and stuff, but they can easily charge like $150 for a food lanyard. You get 10 items or whatever, depending on what their average is per food booth. We'd have to do the math and stuff for that.
They'd have to do the math.
Yeah. But besides that, it's like, you can do something like that where the person who's buying it's like, if I know I'm going to eat a lot of food tonight, and if I punch all these out tonight, I'm actually going to save money. So I want to do that. But then there is that chance they don't.
See, I think that's probably why they moved away from that in Mardi Gras and don't do it for HHN, is because people do tend to just get the most expensive item.
True. Yeah.
And then they might, not be making as much profit off of it.
Yeah.
Whereas with a gift card, you're guaranteed.
But then again, that's my point is like, how many people, like what are the odds that everybody only gets the most expensive item? More than likely when you go to get food, you're going to get the item you want, whatever price it may be, because you're not going to get like, oh, it's just like a cucumber for $20. Since that's the most expensive, I might as well get that. But I want the burger that's $12, Yeah, you get what I mean though. Cucumbers are good, by the way. For any cucumber fan out there, don't worry, I got you. But yeah, it's one of those where I feel like the company, if they look at it and they're like, oh, we might potentially have a loss in this, it's like, I don't think you will, because not everybody's going to buy into it. And at the same time, you can still find a way to make profit off of it. But it's more so as it's an enhancement for the guests and the experience, where I think it's a win in the long term, regardless if there's a profit margin in there or not. Mm-hmm. And again, you can have it too where it's like no alcohol is included. People are going to buy alcohol and they make a lot of money on the alcohol sales. So it's like if you do the food lanyard, it does not include drinks. You're just getting food, and maybe they can even work a deal out. You buy the 10 ticket food lanyard and you get one free alcoholic beverage. Yeah. If you complete all 10 items or something, I don't know, you do things like that. And I think people would go and have a good time with it. I think it'd be a lot of fun. And it's a collectible piece,
Chris made a good point that he says no, unless you can use them at duplicate locations, which I do agree with, because if it was like you get one item from like each booth, I would not have used the punch at the Dr. Oddfellow booth, because all of that food looked nasty.
You can literally get 10 of the same item if you wanted.
Yeah.
10 quarter-step corn dogs. Bing, 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 bing.
I mean, that's your rule, but that might not be theirs.
Yeah, true. But that's how like I would want that percentage.
Yeah.
Where it's like you can get 10 of whatever you want. If you want 10 No Chance in Hell PB&Js, sure, you can have 10 No Chance in Hell PB&Js. That's up to you if that's what you want. But then you can't go get other things, You're going to have to then buy them individually.
Yeah, it's just like a punch. It's not like a one from this booth, one from this booth.
Yeah, because I could see where it's like there's a couple food items at food booths where we're like, yeah, we're good.
Any of that.
and that's where it's like people are like, we're not going to buy that because we're knowing we're not going to get anything like that.
Whereas like that Yeti booth, like both of those poutine things were good.
And I was surprised. I love the vegan one more too.
Yeah,
like that one was like really good. So, yeah,
I think we're just gonna spend this whole stream just talking about food.
We do need to have a food live stream down the road.
Yes.
What do you guys think? You guys want a food live stream down the road?
I mean, who's gonna say no to that?
Well, I can't hear anyone.
Our next one was Scare Actor Dining to return.
This is all about food. this is your food live stream.
I guess so.
Has anybody in the chat? So the next one that we have is the return of Scare Actor Dining. Have any of you guys been to Scare Actor Dining?
Did anybody do it when it was at Monsters Cafe?
Yeah. Anybody do it at Monsters Cafe? And has anyone done it at Louis?
Because we've only done Louis.
Yeah, that was 31. HHN 31. We did that. That was the only one we've ever done. I got a couple people in the chat saying, yeah.
I wish we got to do it at
oh, man, yeah, Monsters. Man. I miss Monsters. HHN 30 was the last one that we had.
Janice said both. Which one did you prefer?
This is all up to you, Janice.
I've watched all the Tim Tracker vlogs. So have we.
When Steph does her prep, that's like all she watches is like Tim Tracker videos.
Yeah. It's like comforting. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Monsters Cafe
Chris
was much
and Janice
better.
said Monsters Cafe. Yeah.
I mean, like, obviously. It's just like the vibe.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It really is like the vibe. Oh, man.
Because, like, Louis,
I miss Monsters.
it was fine, but, like, there's too many windows. It's too bright in there. Like, they had
just wasn't
some
HHN.
decorations, but it still didn't feel like Horror Nights.
Yeah. That's the thing. Obviously, Monsters, like, added to the enhancement of, like, that experience. But, you know, I would still love to see Scare Actor Dining return. I know a lot of people loved it. And I'd love to see them enhance more. Like, okay, so we did the one during HHN 31, right? The food was all right, but I wanted to see more like characters.
Yeah.
You know, we saw one from each house that was represented,
Original.
which was 3. They only had like 3 characters, but then they had Michael Myers that was there for food offering. You can offer a food item to Michael Myers for photo in return. There you go. I brought you my slice of pizza.
And then they had the Mummy.
Yeah, the Mummy for Legends Collide.
Which they, like, lost our ticket or something. So we didn't even get to get a picture. That was a whole debacle.
Do we have a video on that? I think there's a video on that.
I don't think we filmed that part. But
oh, my goodness. Yeah,
it
that's...
was a whole debacle. They misplaced our ticket or gave us the wrong ticket or something. So we didn't
They took our ticket. So when we went to go do the photo, they're like, "Where's your ticket?" And we're like, "Oh, the person at the front took our ticket so we can get in."
Yeah.
And they're like, "No, you
They were
need that."
supposed to give it back to
Yeah,
you.
they're like, they're supposed to give it back to you, so you
But
can
then
take
they
this
didn't let
photo.
us take a photo.
Yeah. So we were literally there, and we're like, "Okay, so like, do we just go back to try to go get it?" Because we wanted to take a photo
was so
with the
weird.
Mummy. And they're like, "Yeah, you can't take a photo unless you have that ticket." And we're like, "Okay, we pay. We're here. We're eating. Like,
Yeah, we were like, we don't even
Left-
need the color vision photo. Like, can we just take one with our phone?
yeah." They wouldn't even let us do that. And so we went to the front. We asked the guys like, "Hey, like, do you have your ticket?" And he went through the stack of tickets, and he's like, "No, we don't know where it is." And we're like, "Okay, is there anything you guys can do so we want to get a photo with the Mummy and Michael Myers and stuff?" And they're like, "Unfortunately, no, we can't do anything
We
for you
need the
guys.
ticket."
We need the ticket." I'm like, "What? Okay."
Whatever. So we met the 3 other characters, but we didn't even get to meet
Yeah, we didn't even
Michael
get to do
or
the
the
other ones.
Mummy.
They literally said, "Yeah, we know you paid, but no. Sorry, we know you have. We know you're in the building. You can only be in here if you had access with the ticket. Therefore, no."
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a whole ordeal. That's whatever.
Anyway,
I wanted to get Michael Myers a pizza.
We would love them to rebuild Monsters Cafe and bring back Scare Actor Dining.
Truthfully, though, we'd love to see Scare Actor Dining return.
Yeah.
Again, it's just another offering that was cool, and I know a lot of fans would love to see it. Yeah, somebody said that sounds whack. Yeah, I know. It's that day was wild. I think it was raining too, and
Anyway, we would love for them to bring Scare Actor Dining back in a capacity where it feels like Scare Actor Dining.
okay, more so like you can just do it at Louis again. You don't have to decorate it as much. I understand, especially for like the day ops. Just have more scare actors, I think.
Yeah, more actors
Yeah,
would help.
more scare actors I think would help with that atmosphere a little bit. But it would be nice if they could decorate it even more. I get it when they have the day ops and stuff, but
It is
just
hard, yeah.
just my thought on it is like just theme Louis when it's Halloween Horror Nights. Just theme it like it's a Halloween season, like it's October. Like put pumpkins all
they
around, put vines and stuff like that, put spider webs so it looks like Louis during the day ops is
should-
just celebrating Halloween.
They should do it in La Bamba. I know they do the VIP.
Yeah, but La Bamba is like small, right? It's a
Then
lot smaller.
Just don't
compared to-
sell as many tickets. I
Yeah,
don't know.
maybe. Yeah, make it more of a.
Because at least it's like darker in there. It's not just all like windows and like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just feel like that would be more like vibey, especially if they decorate it. I know they do the VIP food in there, but maybe they could put that somewhere else.
I'm wondering too, like, what if they could do like a soundstage?
Yeah. Or they do the VIP stuff in the soundstage and then do character dining.
Well,
in the
you know
lobby.
how like they have soundstage 33. You know, when you're walking, like when we were going to Insidious, and it's the one on the right that says Halloween Horror Nights welcomes you or whatever. You know, Universal welcomes.
Oh, they could do it at Lombard's. They could do that.
Yeah, there's a couple areas.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway.
it'd be nice to see character dining return. Like
Anyway.
even if they did it the same they did recently with Louis, like even that I think sure, just make sure the food's like top notch.
Right.
Yeah.
Our next one is the interactive queue lines. I'll just let Brian go. And I'll take a nap.
This is the main event. Dun, 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 dun. This is when the lights like come down. Dun, 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 dun. It's like
Who wants to be a millionaire?
yeah, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Who wants interactive queue lines? That's the show. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen. Also, can you show me the YouTube side real quick? Okay, cool. I've seen what you have because mine is not updating and it's like starting to crash a little bit. Okay, cool. All right, so we're gonna talk about it right now. We're at 1 hour, 22 minutes, and 30 seconds in the live stream right now. Somebody keep track of that because I want to see how long this section goes. This is like the long one, right? Interactive queue lines. Stephanie, can you read out the bullet points that we have? Just this very simple bullet points that we put in there that really don't mean anything, but just read those part out for interactive queue lines.
That was a whole different section of the
Yeah, I know. It was a little higher. Sorry.
trivia / house lore, Universal Play app, projectors on day 1, old HHN clips, Hollywood / Orlando cam. I'm iffy on that one. And that's it.
Okay. So those are just a few of items. I just want to see what order I should go. So the biggest thing with the queue lines that we always talk about is on day 1, we'd love to see all the projectors up and running on day 1, not like midway through the event. This last year's event, they did really good at having the projectors up pretty early on in the run. I was surprised.
My thing is, I understand like having an ad or some sort of commercial like thrown in here and there, but I want that to be like 20% and the rest of it is like content, not just commercials is like all you're watching in line. It almost feels like you're being charged for standing in line as well. Like, we're going to make you watch a commercial while you're standing in line. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, yes, put the projectors up, but also have, like...
Well, the main thing is put projectors up day 1.
Yes,
Have the queue lines operational by day 1.
Yes.
Yes.
But then also, like, I would like for it to not just be, like, commercials.
Yeah, that's a good point. I would like longer loops. It'd be nice to have the loop longer. Like a 30-minute loop would be nice. And to go into stuff, we put in there, what was the first one? Trivia and house lore, right? Mm-hmm. What'd be really neat is if they feature for some of the houses too, knowing what the location is. I don't know how you would, might be a little more difficult to program it like that. But it'd be cool to have specific house buildups for the specific house you're going into, if it's original or whatever. Lay down, buddy. Just getting the dog settled. Lay down. There you go. Good boy. So yeah, it'd be cool to see something like that obviously builds to the house that you're about to go into, explain more of the story. You know, some people, they're waiting in line an hour plus long for some of these houses. So having something like that to watch would be really exciting to get people to know what they're about to encounter, get them into that house. Mm-hmm. And then on top of the point, like what we got last year, I love how they also put like the QR codes for certain things up there and stuff. But the big thing I really want to see, and I always picture this one location, they had which house was in this location last year? A Quiet Place. So if you guys were at HHN last year in Orlando, you guys remember the queue line for A Quiet Place? To me, that is like the main queue line. I literally call it the main queue line. That's right in front of the Music Plaza stage, where you have that big stage opened up. You have the two screens on each side, or one screen on each side. To me, I feel like, okay, if I'm picturing this idea that I have, this is the area I'm thinking. It'd be amazing to have live trivia and polls that are put up on that screen, on those two screens. So the fans that are there in that queue line can see this poll that's put up, right? And it could be like, who's the best Halloween Horror Nights character or icon? Who's your favorite Halloween Horror Nights icon? And they could put Jack, they can put Fear, they can put Caretaker. All right, just throw those three up there. Put Pumpkin Lord, right? Let's add 4. So you have those 4 that's up there. And you can see in lifetime people, you can text your answer to a number, blah, 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 blah. And you can have an actual team member that's operating that system live just to make sure everything's
It's like
running.
American Idol.
Yeah, something like that, right? Where people do live actual text answering. And people could be sitting there watching as, Jack starts off 62%, Fear's at 20%, Pumpkin Lord at 30. Oh, and then, it's changing back and forth. And you can see the timer counting down, and then the winner gets displayed on the screen. And then they can do, another poll. Random things like that, I think, could really add to the fact that you're waiting in such a long time and could distract you from that. They can also add trivia in there. So, they could say during Halloween Horror Nights 21, how many haunted houses were featured, or what was the first year that Jack appeared at Halloween Horror Nights, or for a specific house, like let's say A Quiet Place, what was the name of this character in A Quiet Place?
Mary Vav said, we need an HHN Kahoot. Did you ever play Kahoot
No,
in
I never
school?
played Kahoot, no.
We always did it in school. It was like you would get the pin off of like the main screen, and then you'd put it into your like phone. So then it would pop up with like that quiz. And then teachers always used it to like quiz you.
Oh.
But it could be like polls, or I think you can do polls on there, but it's like trivia, things like that.
How long ago was this?
When I was in college.
Oh, okay. Not too long ago, though.
Yeah, like 2 years ago.
2 decades ago. Anyways.
Rude. Anyway, something like that. Obviously not the Kahoot platform.
Yeah,
but something similar to that would be cool.
But I think that'd be a lot of fun because, it's not just in that one location. Remember, that's going to be throughout the whole park. So you can even it'd be cool because that means like Horror Nights could put up projectors in other areas throughout the parks and have that poll going up or the trivia going up. And, different queue lines could be, going off and stuff, which would be neat. And they can see that in lifetime.
Jack said like Soren's queue,
which
is like 100%.
Yeah, it's really like it, I just think that'd be a cool, like, little feature and stuff in there. And, how they have, like, your own, like, account that you make. Now they have, like, the wands out there. So you have your own account that's accumulating points and stuff like that. Same with, like, VillainCon. You can create your own account and rack up points and trivia and polls and stuff like that at HHN, and there could be a leaderboard for it for the season. You can see who got the best during the season for trivia and stuff like that. Little things like that. And it'd be even cooler if the company itself like went really out of their way, and whoever won, like they sent them like a Halloween Horror Nights like special trinket that's like HHN 34 trivia master, and it's like this cool little plaque and stuff that they get that only they get. Little things like that I think would be fun. Logistics of finding out how to make that work is very difficult, but that's why companies like Universal, they push the limits, and I feel like something like that would be really cool to push the limit on.
Brian said in 2015 in Hollywood, they had trivia on a screen, and they would pick people in the crowd to answer it and give away front of the line passes. That's awesome. That
would be awesome. Like, let's go back to that, because this is what I'm pulling out. Does that cost them anything? No, it doesn't. It does not cost them anything to just go grab somebody out of line and say, right to the front of that house, go, enjoy. It doesn't cost them anything. Will anybody in the line be mad? No, I don't think so, because they're all competing for the same thing. And it's like, oh, like if they won, they're like, that'd be really cool. And to the people who win, that's like, oh, that is awesome. Like that will make their night. Like something like that will completely change their night and their look on the event as well. Like I would be in the queue lines, like trying to win. And if I won and got it, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's cool. And then we get to go through the house. I'm like, that was the best night of HHN I had, just because you get that little thing and it doesn't cost Universal anything. So I do genuinely believe like by adding those little features for the queue lines and making them interactive can be exciting. And like what I've always pictured, especially with the poll, you guys remember Star Wars weekends back in the day at Hollywood Studios? That was the coolest thing. And I remember when they did live polls, we were in crowds that were like of hundreds of people, and we were all voting for like a certain, like Anakin or Obi-Wan, and it was like 50%, 49%. They were going back and forth, and everybody was chanting like, "Oh, vote for this, vote for this." And it, to me, it was like the coolest moment that I had in a theme park. So I'm like, this is a lot of fun because there's a lot of that camaraderie, you know, and that's the way that you build communities very strong. So I think that'd be really neat.
Yeah, or even just as simple as like scare actors in the lines, like going through the lines. Yeah,
and that's that. We're at 1% of this interactive queue line discussion. 1%. But Steph notified me that we have something in the chat that I have to bring up.
Yes.
A name that I have not heard in a very long time. Mr. Jim Daniels. $50 donation, which we're so thank you. 50.
Yes, thank you.
That's too much, but it's always too much.
Always.
But we do appreciate it. And I know Hondo will be happy to see that, but I know Nico will be also happy to see it. Jim Daniels with 50 said, my wish is that HHN would pay attention to fan wishes. I agree. And I do think they're listening. And it's really cool because I don't know how much I can talk about this. But they are out there. They're on social media. They are looking at what the fans are saying. They do these surveys. They take back survey feeds. It's one of those that there is somewhere in between of doing that and the final concept that there's a lot of hurdles in that process. And it'd be really cool if the company can find a way to shorten that and find a way to get A to B very quickly and easily.
It's honestly like has become a thing for a lot of companies nowadays. There's just a lot of red tape. So it has become a lot harder for companies to execute an idea in general. Yeah. And I think that's something that, like back in 2015, it might have been really easy to be like, let's just do this thing.
I mean,
but now you need like approvals and all that.
Look at like Star Wars weekends. Like Disney will probably never do that again, you know? And it's just like that. But yeah, that's company talk. Like we're not gonna get into that too much. But yeah, Jim Daniels, my man, thank you for the 50. I know they do listen. It's just it'd be nice if some of those things would come true more for sure. Next thing that we have that's a part of the interactive queue lines. Can you actually read off the one that is under what we were mentioning? No, actually not that one. Don't worry about it. Okay, going to what you were saying, which I think is another item on the wish list that kind of combines in a way. And that is having scare actor presence. One of the coolest moments that I had that I also thought was just like, okay, I'm going to give you guys some information here. Back at HHN 30, when Jack would drive around and he would go to the queue lines, I thought, hear me out, ready? I thought it was the dumbest thing until I got to experience it in person. And when I got to experience it in person, I can't believe how much I geeked out at seeing Jack the Clown walking around just backstage in the queue lines, just talking to guests as they're waiting for random houses. And to me, that was such a it was a cool moment because it was Jack the Clown. It was him right there. Mm-hmm. And he was just talking to us about waiting in line for The Haunting of Hill House. Like it was just like an actual in-moment experience that we got. And before that experience, I was like, we don't really need that. Like, it could be like silly because we don't really do character meet and greet. Steph and I are not that kind of theme park personnel. And having that experience with Jack, I was like, that was awesome. That was so cool. And seeing the fans react, everyone's like cheering him on, trying to get photos and videos and stuff. That was really cool.
And I've been to like smaller local haunts before where they have scare actors like going around the queue lines and stuff, and they'll like try to scare people. Like you're like in a scare zone.
And because you're waiting in line doesn't mean you're not.
I mean, you're waiting in line to go into a haunted house. You're obviously consenting to being scared.
Yes.
Unless you're just waiting and then you're gonna not go in.
Yeah.
But like that stuff is so cool because you're just standing there, you're kind of bored, maybe like getting tired, and then something like that like jolts you awake, and it just like breaks up that monotony.
Yeah, I mean, like even Jack wrote this, not the Jack, but Jack said that was the best. Jack was jumping in puddles and talking crap to everyone, and that was like so cool because that took away. I remember we had like, oh my gosh, it was like a 45-minute wait, I think, for Haunting of Hill House, or it might have been like 50 or 60, and like 30 minutes passed. And I didn't even notice because we were just in that moment of with Jack and stuff. So that's so cool. So if they can find a way to have more interactive characters walking around the scare or the queue lines, interacting with guests, some that might speak, some might that pop up and scare you and stuff. Just to add that element, I think that'd be really neat. So yeah, I mean,
Agreed.
just simple as that. Another one too, that's after the second one. What does this third one say?
Old HHN clips? Or
No,
that
the one above
cam?
that.
That one is projectors.
Oh, on day one. Okay, so what was the one after that then? Old HHN clips? Oh, yeah. One specific location I remember is when we had the Shrek building, and as well as the ETQ line and stuff. When they had the little TVs, it'd be nice when they played the old HHN clips from years past.
Yeah.
So even like on the projectors in queue lines, whatever they have up on the screens or the projectors, it'd be nice to see like old HHN commercials, like HHN 12. Throw that up there. Throw an HHN 16 one up there, you know? Yeah. It'd be nice just for the fans to kind of see the evolution of
or even
HHN.
that Art of the Scare documentary.
Yeah.
Like, play that.
Yeah, play it. Just play it fully, you know? Play clips from it. Have interviews and things like that. Do a social media thing where you can hashtag, HHN 2025 and they feature you up there live, in those moments.
Who wants to see all of Brian's podcast episodes playing in line?
Throw the Discovery Universal podcast up there, Do you guys want to just see me talk more? Don't answer that, please. Stay. Hold up. Let me. I think he's fine. Let's talk about the next one then. Let's talk about the next one.
That Hollywood Orlando cam that I'm like iffy on.
Steph's iffy about this one.
I'll let you talk about that.
No, here, I'll get him. I got him. No, it's okay. All right, well, we're both gonna go get him. We'll be right back. The doggy, guys. We got the new pup, and I'll be honest, I mean, we're almost 2 hours into the live stream and he's been really good. Dude's only 3 months old. Little Nico, little German Shepherd guy. We'll bring him in here during the end of the live stream so you guys can see him. But yeah, so the next one that we have on there is an HHN Hollywood and Orlando cam. What I thought would be so neat is there could be a specific location, and I think really the best place would be is by the Music Plaza stage, right in that main queue line area. They would have a camera that, shoots down at the event, and you can see the people that's in the queue line, and they can have an animation that comes up on the screen, and it says, HHN Orlando cam, or Hollywood cam or whatever. And there's another camera that's out in Hollywood that is also focused on a certain area, queue line or whatever the event, where the people in Orlando and Hollywood can see each other in live time. So people can just wave at each other, react or whatever, get excited. It can be like a quick 3-second thing, just so that you can see other people on the other side of the country enjoying Hollywood's version of HHN and vice versa. What I thought would be really neat is imagine you're in line, let's say last year, right, for A Quiet Place. And, obviously California's 3 hours behind us. And HHN Hollywood just opened up, and they have a camera that's down that main strip from the entrance of the park, and you can see people running in, the chainsaws revving up and all that stuff. And as a personnel who's waiting for a house in Orlando, you can see people in Hollywood just getting started. I think that would be such a cool thing, and Granted, yeah, there's a lot of legal stuff when it comes to that, but I just think something like that would be so unique because you can see people on the other coast enjoying HHN and vice versa. They can see you. And it's just something like that to add in that long loop of things that happen on the projectors. But yeah, even Brian Sevilla said the fire towers. Like, yeah, put a camera there in the fire towers. People can see, live motion of that. Yeah, first scare zone entrance cam for sure. Yeah, I think that'd be cool. Yeah, and Shanna, you brought up only bad thing is the time difference to that. Couldn't run all night. Yeah, and that's the thing too. Like it doesn't necessarily have to. And that's why it'd be nice if like Universal would have somebody that can actually operate the projectors. That's their job for the night, where they go through and they actually, function and make sure that, the trivia is running, the polls are up and running. They can maintain that. But then also every now and then they can switch over to the live cam every now and then. And then when they're done for the night and stuff, and it just plays a regular loop without having trivia or polls or anything like that, the cams will also shut off too. So it could run for like 4 hours. They can have every like 20 minutes that pops up, 30 minutes that pops up. Just kind of surprise fans and stuff. Even like a house exit cams, that'd be really neat too. West Coast Jack flipping off East Coast Jack in real time. Yeah, that could be the legal problem that we face, right? Ando, go lay down, buddy. Go lay down. You're doing good for me. No, I know. They're coming back up to relax. All right, folks. The dogs are getting back in place. I will be back. So hang tight. We'll be back. We're going to get dogs settled, and then we'll continue with our wish list. All right, we're back, and Steph is back with me. She took the little man out.
Yes.
He's still whining. He's doing really good for his first life. Like,
He's a
I'm
baby.
impressed. Remember, for those of you who've been with us since the beginning, remember when Hondo was like a baby and he peed on us during the live stream, like right in front of us?
Yeah.
Anybody, do you guys remember that live? That was so long ago. I wonder if anybody remembers that. Yeah, and Jack even said there's a bar at SeaWorld, Tom, where you can push a button to activate a scare in one of their houses. Yeah, that's another thing, too, that I think would be so cool to have at the, like the HHN bar and stuff. You can have, like, an interactive element there for the house, too. That'd be fun. Things like that would be unique. And, of course, SeaWorld, they charge for that. Universal can charge for it, too.
Yeah, I think that part's cool.
And I feel like Universal could do it at a level much higher, too.
Maybe.
I just think it's neat. All right, so yeah, interactive queue lines. There's a couple more that's on there too that I can mention that I have in mind, but those are like the main ones that I think is the biggest ones that could help, but also that I feel like can be done. I don't think it's like too much work that would have to be going into it, but I genuinely think that just by adding those, my heartburn's starting to really kick in now.
Every time.
I know, but now it's really kicking in. But I feel like just by adding those, I think could really enhance the event overall, because the most important thing on this list, in my opinion, is the interactive queue lines. Because everybody who goes to HHN and the theme parks in general, to do anything, what are you going to have to do? You're going to have to wait. And nobody just wants to wait in something bland. And in HHN queue lines, there's nothing really special to them as much. They're just switchbacks.
I mean,
and there's
it's hard
nothing...
because they can't... It's not like they can build a whole interactive queue.
Exactly.
For every single house.
Exactly, yeah. And there's nothing more intimidating than not having express pass and walking up to a queue line and seeing 20 switchbacks of people just filled. And you're like, oh my goodness. So at least having like those projectors up and those characters maybe roaming around and stuff can really make that area feel like it's alive and it's a part of the event in itself. So people are not just kind of standing around, I think that could help.
Yeah.
No, late. Can you guys hear him? Do you guys hear the little guy? Lay down.
Should we move on to the next one?
Lay down. Hey there, you're good. Yeah, let's move on to the next one.
So the next one is...
Or hold up. Did anybody else come up with idea for Q line that we did not mention? If you guys did, I have not been reading the chat, so I apologize. So I probably should.
I didn't see any. At least not that I can remember.
Okay, I'm going to do this then real quick. Ready? I'm going to throw up a quick rapid fire Q&A overlay, but it's not rapid fire Q&A. Instead, it's rapid fire answers from you guys. Put down any of the ideas that you guys would have that we didn't mention for the Q lines if you guys got it. If you guys can keep it short and sweet, and we'll try to read them off. We won't spend too much time on it, but I want to see if you guys have any other ideas too. I have not. I'll be honest. As you guys know, if you guys are new here, I don't really read the chat much. Steph does because I just talk too much.
Yes.
But yeah, also, if you guys are just joining us, by the way, what's up? How you guys doing? We are, an hour and 46 minutes into the live right now. Mm-hmm. We're discussing our HHN 2025 wish list. We did 3 videos recently, surprise, back to back to back. And we're just kind of going over the ideas that we mentioned there in further detail, just kind of chat and stuff. And it's great to be back, by the way. So yeah, it's exciting. If you guys want to hear some of the other ideas we mentioned, go back earlier in the live stream. But yeah, I mean, hey, tonight, live stream.
Happy Mask Guy said augmented reality. So like portals or monsters that you can't see, but you can see with the phone. Like Pokemon Go, but for HHN.
That'd be cool. Can you imagine having like a Pokemon Go, but it's HHN version?
That'd be kind of cool.
You got to go capture all the monsters and stuff. But I mean, obviously they can make something like Legendary Truth and stuff,
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
That'd be cool. Live bands or a DJ, which...
That's actually an idea coming up in a way. Yeah, that's true.
Haunted voiceovers talking to the crowd lines.
See, that would be nice too. Like, no, stay.
Especially one...
Stay.
Kind of like the... What is it called? Mystic Fountain?
Yeah, like the Mystic Fountain, yeah.
Or like the Volcano Bay, where they like, it's somebody actually operating it, so they can like talk.
Actually physically talk to people
like
there.
crush.
Yeah.
Something like that. Clips from the IPs playing on the screens. Yeah. They should do that. Play clips from like the movie that you're about to go into.
Yeah, the last time I remember that was like Haunting of a Hill House, but they had that projected on the outside of the house itself.
And it's just, but what they do is just like the trailer or the preview for the movie.
They do that now, but for Haunting of Hill House, they played clips from the film.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but it wasn't like the film itself. It was like some trailer
Clips,
portions and stuff, but like clipped. Yeah.
Obviously, they want you to go get Netflix and watch it.
Netflix, I mean, Peacock.
Well, Haunting of Hill House.
Oh yeah, that one.
Roaming hordes through the queue lines, which we kind of talked about.
Well, no, can you imagine like a whole like chainsaw horde just comes revving down one of the queue lines on their way into the scare zone, like to go into the park? That would be awesome. Like that, like for instance, they're like, all right, guys, for the roaming chainsaw horde, like line up, everybody. Before we go on set, we're actually gonna go through this queue line real quick, and we're just gonna rev up our chainsaws, get the people pumped up, and then we're gonna get out there into the scare zones for you guys. All right, let's go. Boom. Like that to me, I'm like, that'd be cool. That'd be neat. Somebody said give Jack a water gun and let him loose.
Oh, that'd be kind of cool. Hollow Rant said have photographers like go around the park so you can get pictures like with your group and stuff.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, even like have a scare actor roam around. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Unique to the house music loops longer than one song. Yeah, I'd like that. Yeah, there's a couple good ideas in there, guys. Team Randall said 2:20 a.m. here, still going strong, enjoying the show. Golly. Can't believe you're staying up.
You're stronger than me.
Proud of you guys. Thank you. Appreciate it.
We're ready to move on?
Yeah. You go ahead and mention the next one. This guy is starting to lose his mind now.
So the next one is returning Unmasking the Horror Tour back to starting after opening night. So it did run through the full event this last year, but the first night of it was like way before opening night, and we didn't care for that because we didn't do it. But there was there like a ton of leaks and stuff? Yeah, I guess there was. A lot of people just posting their like Unmasking the Horror Tour photos that they were able to take.
Yeah, because it's not. I mean, technically, it's not a leak.
Before the event even started.
Yeah.
And I did my very best to not look. And there were a lot of people that were respectful and, you know, put up like a spoilers before. But there were people that just like straight up posted it.
Yeah.
And
but again, like it's Universal gave them the ability to do
their
that.
right to do that. Like
Yeah.
if they want to do that. But a lot of us don't want to see those things before opening night. So that was a little frustrating. And like you said, it's not on the people who posted it, it's on Universal for allowing.
Yeah, my thought is it's like, and I know like by them doing this, it benefited some people. I mean, we have a friend of ours that does not do well in going through houses, and she was able to do the Unmasking the Horror Tour early to see some of the houses before, and she was able to go through the houses and be able to do that. So like there is benefits to it, but like genuinely, like I just feel like those things should be reserved for after opening night. Opening night to me should be opening night for a reason. It's called that. So it's the first time that everybody's getting this experience. And then the same thing goes with Premium Scream Night. I do genuinely believe that like those photos that gets released because people do Unmasking the Horror Tour before opening night, like that's fine because they paid to go do this experience. They can talk about it if they want. But I feel like that's something that Universal should do. Like Universal should find a way to give the fans of HHN more throughout the season, post more videos, post more lore, post more announcements that are individually based on the houses, show us a little sneak peek. And that's what like the website did. And we have the website down in the list as well. I noticed a couple of things we've been talking about. There are items down in this live stream we're still going to get to. We're kind of bringing them up. And like the website was one of those places. It's a hub that they could show those things. And back in the day, during the Halloween Horror Nights website era, there was one of the years where they would show some of the houses, some sneak peek photos of on-set photos of areas that you're going to see when you go through the houses, and descriptions of it that came from the creatives and the mindsets behind it. I feel like those are like really awesome, and people love that. And especially if that came from Universal and Horror Nights from the off season, people are going to take that more well. Like their reception is going to be very well. Compared to just being like open for any person to go and get it and then post on it itself. It doesn't feel right, if that makes sense. I don't know the proper term. I'm using the wrong word. It just doesn't feel right. There's another word I can't think of right now.
I don't know what you're trying to think of.
Natural, I guess, or
Yeah.
doesn't feel
Polished.
oh, pure, maybe. Anyways, it's just like, to me, I'm like, I would
It's
like
not
to see
from
that.
the source.
Yeah, I'd like to see that from the source, and for them to really go after that versus them just open it up for anybody else to do it in a way.
Mm-hmm.
That's just me.
Yeah.
Organic. Thank you. Sorry, Brian got it.
Mm-hmm.
He said organic. Yeah, that's. Thank you.
The next one is
Genuine.
find a way.
Cromulent. I'm getting words. Yes.
Find a way to incorporate more into the Springfield and World Expo locations. So,
Sorry, I was reading
I was
chat.
like-
What did you say?
incorporating more into the Springfield and World Expo area. So bringing the chainsaw horde back, maybe, or putting it there, or another scare zone or something.
Yeah, really, like, you know, when we had the chainsaw horde, it was a lot of the times it was always in the Springfield area. Now I know legal contracts are out there, and I understand that, but my question is there anything we can do in the Springfield area? Anything? Or is that going to be the safe area? If it's a safe area, fine. But what about World Expo, where we have the bridge, Men in Black? What else can there be done over there in that location that can add more to it? And really, it also is like maybe like lighting, music, maybe some other props. Just adding more props, I think, could help too. Just something over there, because I feel like it's just missing a little something to make it feel like it does when you're in the front of the park. I feel like the front of the park, you know, when you get through Minions Land and you're over there by New York and stuff, obviously there's so much over there. I wish that was reciprocated on the other side of the park too, to feel like both ends have an even factor to it. It's hard because of real estate.
Yeah,
like they got what they got, but
it just feels like every year, like we lose a little bit more of the park that HHN can actually be in a part of.
I'm gonna say this, guys. It's the IP takeover of the theme parks, and it's, hear me out, y'all. It's taken away from the ability of these theme parks to do more for their fans. It has been for years, and it's just getting bigger and bigger, and it's going to take away all these special moments and memories that you grew up with and that your children's are going to grow up with. It's taking all that ability away from creative.
All right.
That's all.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. Anyway.
So Mary said it needs to be said.
Yeah.
And that's the very shortest version that Brian can say.
And then she followed it up with R.I.P. Lost Continent.
Oh, girl. Do we need to talk about Lost Continent?
No.
Guys, I could go on a 2-hour rant about Lost Continent and how like Islands of Adventure could single-handedly be one of the greatest theme parks in the world with its original content that they're getting rid of. And it's so sad. It breaks my heart. Lost Continent is literally a diamond right now in the rough. And
yeah.
Oh, man. That is such a beautiful land that really could shine even more. All right.
We can thank Harry Potter for all of that.
Literally.
Moving on.
But here's the thing. I'm going to say this real quick. Even Harry Potter, though, yes, that was kind of the start of it. That, to me, was done right. That's done right.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
There's ways of doing it. Oh, man. The crazy thing is the creative team at Universal, there are so many incredible people that's in there that I've had the opportunity of meeting and talking with. And the same thing goes for all theme parks. There are a lot of creative people who want to do a lot of amazing creative things, and it just never gets to happen. And it makes me so sad because these are people who truly have passion for what they're doing in the theme parks and for the families. And it just, the corporations just look down and they're like, what's the spreadsheet say?
And even the IP is, like, what they do with the IP is amazing. Like, the IP lands, like Epic, like what they're able to do with it is amazing. It does make it a lot harder to do anything else. Yeah,
which is going back to the point of like, that's why like I feel like events like HHN gets hurt by this.
Yeah,
those original events and stuff, because like for instance, we don't have a scare zone in Minion Land. Why? Because it's an IP. It can't be done. My thing is, and again, I have no knowledge about this, and if Universal, if you're watching this, I would love for you to educate me about it. But why can't the IP and the company come together with an agreement of just doing it because they know it's the best for the guests, for the fans? I feel like companies now, they get so strict, like, oh, it's got to be said like this and that. And it's like, everybody knows what they mean. Everybody knows this. It's like, what's really the best for the fans? Like, why can't we just do that? You know? Again, that's like a whole conversation.
Yeah. Right. There's a lot of moving pieces. The next one is bringing Cabana Bay experience back. The pop-up.
Yeah, you take this one for a spin.
We liked it. Bring it back. That's it. More. We want more.
The theme of tonight, more HHN.
It was a cool thing that, you know, I think it also was really cool that it was exclusive for guests staying at the resorts. I think it's cool to give, and we don't even really stay at the resorts because we live here, but I think it's nice to give the guests that are staying at the resorts for HHN something exclusive for them. I think that's kind of cool, and we got to do it a few times, and it's always been really cool. We didn't do the year with Chucky, and we're not the biggest Chucky fans, but the photos that like what they came up with
Yeah,
for
the
the
photo
photo
ops.
ops were so cool.
They're fun and creative,
So-
and people loved it.
And people do love those. So I would love to see them bring that back as just like another thing for people to do, because you know that people plan an entire trip to Universal just for HHN. It's not like just something that they're like, oh, this is happening, we'll do this thing. People plan an entire week.
I mean, we're
long
probably
trip.
talking to a couple of people in the
Yeah,
chat that does that.
For
Yeah.
HHN. So it's like to give them even another thing to do outside of the park that doesn't require a ton of extra money. Yeah.
Yeah,
Why not?
No, I agree.
I think it's cool.
And here's the thing too, like I love the fact that they did more theming for the lobbies, by the way, for the hotels this past year. I thought that was a big one. I love that. It's like why aren't we theming our hotels to the event itself like Halloween? Because they do it for Christmas,
Which
correct?
they did do that with some of the bars in the resorts last year.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah.
Oh,
The lobbies and the bars. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm trying to say. It's like a Christmas, everything gets decorated,
yeah.
right? Which I still think could be decorated even more for Christmas around the entirety. But like, why not for Halloween too? I feel like Halloween is getting to be such a big holiday and stuff around where it's like, it's so well known. Like, why isn't the hotels getting more? And, you know, last year they did that with more of the bars and the lobbies and stuff. I was like, that's a huge win. But again, Steph and I, we could park at City Walk. We can take a little resort shuttle, which is incredible. I love the boat, the little water taxi. It's my favorite thing at the park or the resort. And we can go see and experience the themed bar and lobby. But the Cabana Bay experience is exclusive. You have to have a hotel like ticket, little key, whatever that thing is. You know what I'm talking about. You have to have that to have access to the experience, and that's what made staying at Universal even more worth it. There's that extra benefit for a Halloween Horror Night stay.
Mary said
so yeah.
that the lobby theming last year was cool.
Yeah, no, it was. I thought it was really neat. And again, it's an additional thing that doesn't really bring them direct value. It's just giving more.
Yeah.
You know? And that's where I feel like the Cabana Bay experience could be one of those too.
Yeah, and I think that was one of those things where like it was kind of a 1 year, like they're like, surprise, we're gonna do this cool thing. And then they were like, well, let's do it again. And let's do it again. And then they stopped doing it. And then everybody was like, what? We want it back.
Why did you stop?
But it's like, it wasn't always,
Yeah.
you know, a thing that they did every single year. But because they did it a few years in a row,
Yeah.
people miss it now.
Yeah, and even Holloran said, I think they could amp up the Halloween theming a lot more in the lobbies. I think around all theme parks in general, I think the Halloween theme should be ramped up, like throughout,
Yeah.
period. Like, I'm going to bring this up. Why does Islands Adventure not have Halloween themed stuff for the Halloween
I would
season?
love if they did like a little kids daytime Halloween thing.
Well, okay, so back in 2020, when the whole thing was going on and HHN was canceled, they did do like a
trick-or-treating,
trick-or-treat little
yeah.
thing. I'm like, why didn't they bring that back for like
They should
families
do-
who
they
go
should do
through? Because they still kind of do the scarecrow stalk at
Yeah.
HHN. They still do something like that. So it's like, why don't they have a daytime one at Islands of Adventure where they could still do that? You know,
Yeah.
and it doesn't cost them anything.
They
It
well,
really doesn't.
they used to. So I used to go to Cedar Point when I was little, and they did a Halloween thing at night. But then during the day, they would do like a more kid friendly one, and they had characters dressed up and all that, which obviously that does cost more. And doing like a trick or treating does cost more because they have to buy the candy.
No,
to
you just
pass
use the
out.
old candy from last year.
They go
plenty
trick
of
or
it.
treating and then just give the kids that candy.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
But it's so cool, and I think like a lot of families would love that. But I
I
don't know.
agree.
Um,
And we also could do that just to stock up on our shelves for candy for that
yeah,
Halloween.
exactly.
And make sure you do Reese's Universal, please.
The next one is original house announcements. Do you want to take that one?
Why not?
More.
More HHN, the theme. Yeah, so this one is original house announcements. Really just the announcement season. To me, this is like, I think this is the peak prime way of doing an announcement season is if you have 10 haunted houses coming to the event, right? Let's say they're doing 10 haunted houses. If each house got its own announcement, that is 10 announcements. That's how many fingers I have. 10. Which means that's 10 days. But what I would like for is each original house, obviously, to get its own announcements like we did back then. Like 2018 was peak. If you guys look back at the 2018 announcement season, go back and search up 2018. Look at the Halloween Horror Nights 2018 Orlando announcement season. You had the IPs had their announcements, right? But then you also had the originals. The original haunted houses had their own announcements too. Seeds of Extinction, Carnival Graveyard, and a couple other ones to mention. Like they had their own announcements, and it was like a video and stuff like that. Not like the one post that's got all the originals on one slide. Or this past year where they kind of like dropped one day by day, like back to back to back, which was kind of cool, and it's getting in the right direction. It's better than just one day everything. But I'm like, man, there's so much. Okay, let me take it back for you. What I think Universal wants and what they like, we know like HHN, they're always going to sell tickets for HHN. That's always going to happen. It's always going to be a popular event. But what I think would be so cool is for Universal to always keep the conversation about Universal. Always. And how do you do that? You constantly give the fans something to talk about. And with Halloween Horror Nights, the fans are always talking about Halloween Horror Nights year round. We talk about Halloween Horror Nights every single day. Believe it or not, y'all, I talk about HHN all the time. And there are plenty of content creators that do the same. And there are plenty of fans that also do the same. Horror Nights it's a different event that does not exist anywhere else in the world. That's why we have speculation season. Like that doesn't exist for anything else. You know, Horror Nights, that's the only event I've ever came across in my life that there's a speculation season where fans come together and spend a lot of money to put something up in their house to speculate what could happen at an event in a theme park. Like it's crazy, you know, and it kind of reminds me of like, you know, when Marvel had that era in the 2010s when people were speculating what's going to happen. Like that was such a big deal. That was a lot of fun, especially for nerds like me. And HHN and Universal has that I don't think any other theme park does. It is so special to Universal. And I wish that I'm going to use the word exploited, and I don't want them to, don't take that for granted. Like, you know, I want them to exploit that, but in the right way possible, where they can say,
utilize it.
Yeah. That's a better word than exploit. Thank you, Steph. But yeah, they could utilize that and understand that they have that power. So why not use it, put it to use? So you have 10 haunted houses that's coming to an event. And if you give each one its own announcement day, that's 10 days. But then if you amp it up and say, well, we're going to give each house its own announcement week. So on Tuesday, we announce the house. Wednesday, we drop a Discover Universal podcast episode about the house that next day. And then the following day, a sneak peek photo gets released from one of the sets. It's something even small. It doesn't have to be a whole set. It could be something small with a little description from one of the creatives about the process of that. It could be just those 3 days, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That's enough for the work week. And that whole week is spent discussing that one house. And they could do that for 10 weeks. That means 10 weeks straight, people are talking about Halloween Horror Nights in Universal constantly. Again, it's more work. It's more costs, and I understand it doesn't really bring value to HHN and Universal as a
it's not a direct
value. Yeah, like investment,
return.
But it's that investment on the fans and the fan base and a service that I think will benefit them so much in the long run, that you build such a loyal community that no matter what happens in a year, you might have an off year HHN and the ideas and the houses aren't working. Those fans are gonna be like, it's okay, we're gonna stick with you through this, versus, you know, where they don't get as much and they feel like they're getting less, and then you start losing people because of that. I read a comment earlier in here where somebody said they bought a ticket for $80 back in 2007, where they felt like they got so much more content than they do now. And I think that's true across all theme parks right now. And just really technically the world, just like in anything, you know, it feels like we're kind of losing more than what we used to get. And we're paying more. Shrinkflation. It feels like that. So it'd be really cool if Universal takes a stance where they're like, you know what, we're not going to be like all the other companies. We're going to do the most that we can for our fan base, because we know like when we do that, they're going to be there with us, you know, and we want them to know we're going to give them everything we can, because what made Universal successful?
Movies?
The classic monsters. No, but it's the fans, you know, it's the people who are constantly there supporting, because you know, they feel like they're being heard and they're listened to, and they feel like it's a direct service for them and their entertainment. So yeah, I feel like, you know, the original houses, they should get their own announcement day, and last year we got that, which was great. I'd love to see a video. I think just a little short clip, I think just enhances it a little bit more. I think it's
like
a lot
a
of fun.
graphic, like a moving graphic.
I'm gonna say
That's
video.
what we got. That's what we got. That's basically what we got with Scary Tales.
In a way, yeah. But there's more to it, you know. There's that build up. You get a little bit of the music,
Just
you get the motion, right?
Something.
That you add to it, and then I think following up with much more content stuff could it just be so cool. And I genuinely think the fans would love that. So, and again, like I said, that's for the houses. They could do it with the scare zones too. You know, if you do 10 houses, 5 scare zones, and let's say at least one show, that right there is 16 weeks for all you math, you know, nerds out there. That's about, you know, easily 3 months, but that's about 4 months of constant Halloween Horror Nights content. The event starts in August. That means you have to finish up in August. Let's say mid-August, you finish up with all the announcement stuff, right? That means you have August to July, July to June, June to May, May to April. That's the 4 months, and you can start house announcements in April. And people can do all their speculations January, February, March. April, we're getting our first announcement. Speculations continue. They keep going until about mid-season to late season and stuff around July, when we got majority of the announcements and stuff. And the conversation's all about these houses, because every week we're constantly getting something new. You know, house, scare zone, house, scare zone, house, scare zone. So by May, when tickets are out and stuff, usually for the past few years, that's how it's been. People feel like, I know what's coming to the event. I see some things, so I feel value, because the past few years, tickets have gone on sale and people are like, we're still waiting to see what's going to be at the event to see if it's even worth it.
Yes. Agreed.
Sorry. I get very passionate about that topic, because
I know.
I just think that one could really help. And to really just kind of put it out there, it's one of those things where we have had that before, and all I'm asking is for us to have what we used to have.
I will say that I am much more passionate about things being brought back, or additional things that happen during the event while you're there. Not so much like, I know announcement season, everybody wants it to be a certain way, and like it's changed and they don't like the way it's changed. But for me, like, if they dump everything on one day, like, yeah, it's kind of annoying. But then if you get to the event and the event's amazing, like, you're not going to remember that. You're not, it doesn't affect the actual experience at the event.
I agree with you. No, I agree with you. For the casual fan, I think that is very much that mindset and the truth. And I do agree with you.
I'm just saying, like, if we had to pick and choose, that would be lower.
Oh, no. Yeah. I get that. But from where I'm coming from, and how I think and what I believe, is that I do think the effort that they put into the announcement season does reflect on the event. Yeah. And this is coming from a hardcore fan, right? A casual fan just might be like, oh, like, what's coming to the event? Okay, cool. Like, that looks fun. I'd like to go to that. Mm-hmm. That's more of a casual fan. A hardcore fan like myself is very much like, it's a momentum buildup. You know, how speculation season goes, how, like, these live streams, right? How's this live stream going? How's chatting with you guys going? This buildup that we have, and then with the announcements on top of that, builds this excitement for an event. And that is lived through the event and what we get to experience and stuff. So to me, like, that I feel like is very important, because that builds the excitement up for a season, you know. And more than likely, like, the events are always gonna reach our expectations in certain areas and stuff. So yeah, and really, again, it goes to, like, making the season of Halloween even longer in a way, you know. For those of you who love Halloween, but it's 98 degrees out and it's a day in June or something like that, having that little bit of a hope for an announcement that week and stuff gives you that little bit of like, yeah, it's coming up. Like I can make it through this Florida humidity. I can do it.
True.
Yeah.
We good to move on?
Yeah, we can move on. What do you guys think? The
So,
BFO HHN clan assemble.
The next one is one that is something that would happen at the event, and it's something that we've already brought up. But that would be something happening on Music Plaza stage. So this is the stage right under Rip Ride Rocket. We have like a big queue line there that tends to be a very long line. It always happens that whatever house is there has a very long line. So having something happening on that stage, like we were talking about earlier with interactive queue lines or something happening in the queue lines, this would be a prime spot for that live music, a DJ, anything, even somebody that's like an MC that's standing up there doing the trivia, like anything.
Brian and Steph for Fright Club up on the stage.
I don't know about that.
Trash talking to people in the queue line.
Chucky.
Yeah, I mean, throw Chucky up there.
Anything.
You know?
It'd be cool
Don't
to
put Chucky up there. It's fine.
It would be cool to have something up there. I've been to local haunts where they have like a band playing like in front of the queue line, and it does help to make things go by faster. They have like the screens on either side, but again, it's the same video that's playing in all the other queues.
It's
so,
like an 8-minute loop. It's a short loop. They need to make the loop longer.
Yeah, because then if you're like, you went in one line and you watched that video 5 times, and then you go in another line and it's the same video, like it's not really making it go any faster.
Yeah. And they can even put like just a static display, something up there that's just crazy looking, so people can just look at. It'd be cool to you can put up to like a Where's Waldo kind of thing too. You gotta find certain like HHN like old like Easter eggs and stuff, things like that would be really neat. And that's the thing, they don't have to go too crazy with it. Like I'd love to see like a live band, like let's put AC/DC up there, like yeah, that'd be awesome. That's not gonna happen because obviously that'd be very bad idea for a line to continuously move. But if they can just add stuff up there too as just kind of like a visual, I think that'd be really neat. And to go along too with the polls and stuff. But
yeah, cool. I don't think we need to spend a ton of time on that because we already talked about interactive cues.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know you kind of mentioned the merch thing. I'll bring it up. We do plan to open the merch. The Fright Club shop will be opening up soon again. We're figuring out like the logistics on how we're gonna do it. But we'll have the Fright Club stuff back up and stuff. So like I got my hoodie that I'm wearing that we'll have up there and stuff. But there is other merch that Steph and we have planned to make.
Yeah.
That we might put on the store. We're still trying to figure out exactly how we're gonna do it, but we'll let you know. It's the same way with the channel. Like we're wanting to make more, but it depends on what happens to see if we can or can't. Same thing goes with the merch store.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll try to get you guys as much as we can. We promise. So
the next one is another one I think Brian will probably go on about for another hour, which is the return of the website.
I'll keep it very short.
Again, from my point of view, yes, I would love to have it back, but I would love to get things actually in the park during the event first.
Yeah.
So like the Lagoon show, things like that.
I'm going to keep it very short because I think you're in the mindset of like, oh, like Brian wants lore and all this stuff. That'd be cool. What I really want, and I think is important, is to have the function of a website that is distinctly for HHN only, where you can get your tickets information.
No, I do agree with that. I think that the website as it stands right now, where it's connected to the normal Universal website, there are some issues.
Big time.
We've had a lot of
Universal, I love you, but we've had so many issues with it. So many. With the wrong ticket being purchased and being redirected to a different site for us. And we've gone through, a lot of you guys have probably, to like ticket hell. That's what I call it. Where it's like I miss when we had just the Halloween Horror Nights website.
It's like everything for Halloween Horror Nights is just
right there. You type
I think part of the reason why they did that is because of the hotel and ticket packages which I totally understand because
Well, they wanted everybody to be directed to the main account where you can see other things they offer besides just HHN.
Like when we were buying our Hollywood tickets, their site is totally different than Orlando's.
That was,
But I don't dislike their website. I think it kind of almost makes more sense the way that they have all like the add-ons and all of that is almost like a menu. You just add everything on separately. You know, or Orlando, it's a little bit more well, I guess they do have it like that in Orlando too. But yeah, it's weird. They're like both completely different. And we've just had weird like redirects and it's hard getting back to the page that you were just on. And
I'm just going to say this. There was at one point where I was getting our tickets and it was redirect me to other stuff. I don't know what happened. And right when I was going to check out, I had over 200 days of Universal single park tickets in there too. I was like, why is this costing me $18,000? And I looked at it and there was just like 200 days of just Universal single day tickets on there. I think with Express too. I was like, what? And when I went to delete that, it deleted all my HHN stuff too. It's like, what is happening? I think that was back in 31.
Yeah.
Or no, that was 32.
Yeah, so
32.
even if it's not like bringing back all the extra stuff that they used to do with the lore and the interactive map and things like that, even just having them as like just like a separate website.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd love to see like of course like the old like lore and the games and stuff, and I still want that. I think that'd be great to add to the event too. You know, have like just a sub tab that's based on that year's like event lore and things that people can go through, and it adds more to the spec season and stuff. And that could be the place where they have the house announcements where you can see the photos of like certain sneak peeks like they used to from inside the houses. But I just think from an actual function and operational usage, when it was its own thing, it was much easier to actually go around versus when it was connected with the main website. I feel like there's a lot of redirection issues that happen with that. So I just love to see that. Like I type in a lot of the times, like I go onto Google, guys, right? Or go into your URL, type in HollywoodHorrorNights.com. There's the website for it, and it's going to pull up and it's going to give you which location: Orlando, Hollywood, Singapore. I want to say Hong Kong. I don't know why Hong Kong's popping up. I think
right.
Yeah, I don't know. Is it Tokyo? Why am I so confused on the last one? Hold up. Anybody in the chat, right? Japan, right?
It just says Japan.
Yeah. Just Japan. Yeah, it's just Japan. Yeah, John Menendez got it. He said Japan. Yeah, so Orlando, Hollywood, Singapore, Japan. And that's the thing. It's like then you click on that and it just goes to the main Universal website. Like if you go to Orlando, click Orlando, it's just going to go to the main Orlando website. And there have been times too when like tickets were on sale and I go to that site. I'm like, oh, I want to go to the Horror Nights site. I click Orlando and it just takes me to the generic Universal site. I'm like, where's Horror Nights? Like, where do I find that? And you have to go search for it. So it'd just be nice if they had that function just in its own. That's what I would like.
Yes.
Anyways, yeah.
Cool.
Next one.
We're
still rolling.
More roaming characters, which we already talked about that.
Yeah. Just like with the queue lines, but also have that in the park too. It'd be nice to have people like characters more roaming, more freely to go through the park too.
I think Brian called I think in the video, Brian called them drive-by characters. I would not refer to them as that, but roaming characters.
Unless they're in a car. I don't know. Anyways.
Like
it's
a golf cart, like one of those little golf carts.
Yeah. Like the like the Blues Brothers mobile. Yeah. Could you imagine actually like how cool would that be if they had like the zombie Blues Brothers that were in the Blues mobile like driving around and they go on the stage and
we do have a Ecto 1 now.
Yeah. You guys know in our intro when we have the Ecto 1 driving through the arches, can you imagine if they had the Ecto 1 just kind of driving through the park?
Someone would try to jump in there.
Well, that's why they would have 45 attendants around it.
You couldn't even see it because they're all just blocking it.
Promise you it's there. Don't worry. It'd actually be cool if they had effects like that throughout the park too.
That would be cool.
Like a dog whining like that. Yeah. That was perfect, Nico. All right. How many more do we got?
Two more.
Okay, 2 more. Because we're at 2.5 hours.
Yes.
I'm going to go to the YouTube thing. All right. We're good.
All right. The next one is an official HHN tribute video.
Yeah.
Brian, you can make that.
Yeah. Oh, like physically make it?
Yeah, you make it.
It'd be the worst one yet. I've done 2 in my life, and then they're kind of cringy to watch. I look back at it and I'm like, why did I think that was a good idea? Hit at the guitar in the center, you know?
Oh, don't even.
Oh.
Anyway.
Zombie.
No.
In your head. I thought it was fun.
Anyway.
I had a good time. Yeah, so this one, an official HHN tribute video. Really, again, Nico, but we're almost done, buddy. I promise you, we're almost there. Stay there. We're good. So an official HHN tribute video. What I would like is at the very end of the event, every single year, during the last week, or even after the event, it'd be really cool if Halloween Horror Nights, Universal, officially puts together just like their own tribute video, taking a look back at the event. And it's not even just moments at the event, but even like during speculation announcement season, from announcements, maybe with Discover Universal podcast too, when they have the creatives come on board, take little clips of that, maybe have some behind the scenes content with the creatives.
I know someone in the comments earlier had said like almost like a documentary style.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah. And that's what I mean. It's not like they play music and the characters are running around. No, it's like, it's just a look back at the year. That's what I mean by the tribute itself. But it could be like a documentary, and you can have a setup where like one of the creatives is talking about it and they can go over some of their favorite moments and things that were tough and things that were great and felt amazing as a team together. And just taking a look back at it, and then show highlights of the event, show fans, play some music parts where it's like just the music and B-roll, and really just kind of give a nod to that past year and say, thank you so much, guys, for all of you that attended and supported Halloween Horror Nights and enjoying HHN, whatever that year is and stuff. And, you know, until that next season, you know, we look forward to seeing you guys there. Like always, we'll catch you.
Oh, they're going to take our thing.
Yeah. You know, but like something like that, you know, where we can then close the book on that year and be like, man, that was awesome. Let's open up the next chapter for the next year and start going back down that road. I just think it'd be cool because I think on a random day, it's January 19th, and I'm just sitting around like, man, like I got it. You know, Mardi Gras is coming up. There's still a little bit of time for Mardi Gras. In the meantime, I'm just missing Horror Nights, and the parks are all, I call them naked when they don't have like their event going, right? The parks are naked. Naked. And I'm just sitting there like, I miss Horror Nights. That would be something I would go back and watch. And it could be like 30 minutes long. And it's just like, man, or even like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, you know, and just like really just go back and look at it and be like, oh, man, I love that. And again, it has the fans and it has people thinking and talking about Universal more. So,
yeah.
Just like more media content.
Just more
HHN. And use Peacock. Like, use Peacock as their source to put those things on so people could subscribe and, you know, they can make, you know, monetary value off of it.
Yeah.
Cool. Yes.
And the last one.
We're getting there, folks. We're coming to the finish line.
Is to use the horror makeup show building, which we kind of talked about this too. Brian had mentioned previously that he would like a show, like a stage show in there, but you could also do just like a walkthrough of like props and things like that, like they did for Blumhouse in Hollywood.
Yeah. No, I think like they definitely could do like a walkthrough, like in the lobby. I think they could decorate it for that. That'd be cool. But mainly what I would love is for them to have a stage show in there, but for it to be, it could be one of two things. It could very much, I'm going to bring this up. It could be like, they had this at, it's a Disney reference. They had this at Magic Kingdom and Disneyland before, where they just had like the short clips of like Steamboat Willie playing over and over. And anybody who wanted to get out of the sun can just sit down and watch a clip and just take a break from the heat and, you know, get some AC, have a moment to sit down and just kind of watch a short clip. And if they want to get up and go, they can. You can do something like that. Or you can actually do a scripted show where I love the idea of having, having a host. You have a host on there, just kind of like what they do at Horror Makeup, have the host like that. They come up, they talk about horror, and how Universal obviously is the birthplace of horror, and talk about Halloween Horror Nights and talk about the creatives and the makeup and the process of that. They could even just
do horror makeup show.
Well, yeah, no, of course. They could just do horror makeup show.
And instead of Eddie coming out, it's like
Jack the Clown pops out.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, they could mix it up. But what I would love for them to do with that, lay down, stay right there. We're almost done. What I would really love is for this show to be for more of the BTS of how the event's put together. This would be the hardest thing to do logistically, is where like every weekend they have like a new guest appearance. So like it'd be a makeup artist, it could be somebody in scenic design, somebody who works with sound design, somebody who's a creative for one of the houses and stuff, music and things like that. And they could bring them in and have one of the hosts kind of talk to them, do a little scripted show. That'd be very difficult, especially because there's not a lot of seating in there, and I know a lot of fans would go to that. But if they did something that's just like repetitive every night for the event, that could eat away at a small crowd at least every single night. But it'd be cool to just kind of like give like an example of what Art of the Scare is, play some of those clips on the screen, talk about Halloween Horror Nights like that, go enjoy your night, blah blah blah, boom, like that. But it's a way to bring crowds off of the scare zones and off the streets and the queue lines into another place to eat away. But you pair that, Nico, we're almost done, kid. But you pair that up with the Lagoon show, with Nightmare Fuel, and then the haunted houses. It's more additional pieces that helps with capacity.
Yeah.
So, and there, I mean, you guys could come up with an idea for that building too to do a show, and I'm sure it'll be great because it's like more,
it's just more,
Now the only thing of more is not more is more nights. More nights is not more.
Yeah.
I remember I got so much flack for that, but I do think if you keep adding more nights to Horror Nights, you're going to actually hurt the event more than help it.
Yeah.
Keep it limited. Keep it in September and October.
Can only do so much.
Yeah.
It's a lot on their bodies, and people complain about there not being enough scare actors, but like not everybody can dedicate, 4 or 5 months of that time. It's 40 hours, if not more than 40 hours a week.
It's a lot.
It's a full-time job, but it's seasonal, and not everybody is like full-time seasonal at Universal. It used to be that people would just take like 2 months off of their job and go work as a scare actor. But when it's becoming now, it's like so many nights, they can't do that.
Yeah, but the main thing too, and that's more of like the logistics side, which is a great point. But also just like keeping it like special and limited. And that's why HHN feels so special, because it's like if you keep it just in the months of September and October, and maybe that first weekend of November, depending on when the weekend ends, like you keep it special and limited and keep it that way, where instead, we're in August and it just keeps growing. And now it's like August 1st is HHN and it's 112 degrees outside.
I know, but you also have to think of it like that's from a local's perspective. Like it's more special if it's less nights. But you also have to look at it from people who are only going like one weekend, like they're traveling here and they're only going one weekend. It's going to be special to them regardless if it's August or October.
I get that, but it's the same thing. Like, why don't we have Christmas every single day of the year? Well, it's only one day, so what? You're going to celebrate it that one day, and we're just going to keep it special that day.
My biggest thing about adding more nights is it hurts the event in terms of scare actors,
quality in a way,
and and
quality.
Just the upkeep. It's harder to keep it looking nice. It's harder to keep things going smoothly when it's so many nights. There's just a lot of wear and tear.
Yeah. Anyways, folks, that was kind of like a tangent point at the end, but I like it. Little tangent for us at the end. That is all the items that we have that's written down. We have some other things too that we could talk about. Maybe we'll do it in another live. Who knows? Maybe soon.
This could have been 2.
This could have been 2 live streams, because I realized we're at 2.5 hours. We're not that far away from breaking a record live stream, that's for sure. Also, there was a chat too. Jim Daniels, by the way, member, Fright Club legend for 32 months, which is insane to think we've had that active for that long. But Jim Daniels did say, this was a while back, saying, "Sai, so many good ideas." Appreciate that.
Thank you.
But here's the thing. Everybody's got great ideas, and that's the good thing, is as long as people keep voicing their ideas and stuff, just know that if you have an idea and you talk about it, I'm pretty sure Universal has also had this idea too and has talked about it. So just keep talking about it, talk about it positively and stuff, and engage with other people, engage with other communities about it and stuff. And maybe Universal looks at it as like, a lot of people may like this. Maybe, yeah, this is talked about a lot. Let's experiment with it. Because if you guys realize, like recently, Universal and Halloween Horror Nights 2 in general is always experimenting. Every year there's always something they're trying, you know, so it doesn't hurt to always put ideas out there because you never know if they actually go with it and try with it. Also, Fungi Gamer, member for 30 months of the Fright Club Legend. 30 months.
That's crazy.
It's crazy to think we're coming up to 3 years in a way. Speaking of Universal, Japan, we need to look into getting their Resident Evil experience for late night fans and the Ghost Pokemon concert for the early day families. HHN Overseas has interesting stuff. I agree. The overseas theme parks in general just does things so cool.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I would love to see us being able to kind of incorporate some of the stuff they do over here in the States and to see if that would be successful. I think it'd be cool.
We just have such high capacity. We have so much volume that it's just hard for them to do like cool stuff like that.
I agree. Well,
should I go grab him?
Yeah. The little guy is being very demanding right now. So I don't think we're going to finish with a rapid fire Q&A at the end. I think what we're going to do is we're going to bring in, before you bring him, Hondo, it's your turn, buddy. Ladies and gentlemen, the original, the OG scare actor of the event, Hondo. What's up, big guy? Everybody say hi to Hondo and his new baby brother, the demon of the household, Nico. Look how big he's gotten. Like, look at this. This little guy, not you, Hondo. You've been big. Sit down. Sit. Just sit. There you go. Nico was like baby. Look how big he is now. This is a doggy live stream now. Whoa. Yeah, and like Nico was literally this big. He was like the size of my head, like that. Now, I mean, he's just, I don't know if he's eating like rats or something. He's growing so fast. But 3 months old, and they're the bestest of brothers. They love each other's. We're happy. Right? You guys get along? You guys ready to go to bed? You want to play and all that stuff? Yeah, I know. Hey, you did so good. I'm proud of you. Watch this ball. You're going to touch that. You guys did so good. I'm proud of you guys. All right, guys. The dogs, our children, they're demanding us, so we're going to get going. You want to sniff something? This is doggy ASMR. Nice. He said, you guys are keeping me up.
You be a little podcaster.
Little podcaster, right?
Don't bite that.
All right, you two. All right. So anyways, I just want to say appreciate you guys for sticking with us. And this is a long live stream, over 2.5 hours. Hey, stop that. Don't bite that. But I appreciate you guys again. And honestly, with us being MIA these past few months, it's been tough. But hopefully we're going to get back into the swing of things and making more content for you guys. And we were really like excited and happy to put those 3 videos together for y'all and doing this live stream. So we're hoping we can do more, and we'll try to do better, being transparent and keeping you guys up to date with everything and all that we find out. And for those of you who understand the situation, you guys know, you guys get it. So we're just hoping for the best, and we'll see what happens, and we'll try to keep you guys up to date with it. But man, I appreciate you guys for being here. I mean, I think there's one point we have over 100-something people watching us. Yeah, at one point, 115. Like, that's crazy that you guys have nothing better to do on Tuesday. Like, that's so wild to me. But I do appreciate it. You guys are the best. It's why we love doing this. It's why we wanted to come back to this. It wasn't just that we miss it. We just missed chatting with you guys, and I miss being able to talk my head off. You know, okay. You can let him down. Go ahead. You can let him down. Go ahead. Fly. Nice. Go get him. Go get your big brother. Fight him. Beat them up.
Now they're going to play.
Yeah, now they're going to fight each other. I think Hondo's excited too. You got a lot of energy there too, buddy. I think Nico's still a little tired.
All right.
But yeah, man, I appreciate you guys so much. It means a lot. We missed you guys, and we hope we can get back into the swing of things and making more and just making more content and just hyping up the season again for HHN. That's what we missed. So with that being said, I think we're gonna have to sign off because I think the babies are gonna need us right now. I wish you guys could see him. Look at him. Look at him. All right. Anyways, that being said, that's going to be it for us in tonight's live. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. And hopefully soon we'll keep you guys up to date about another video coming up soon. But until then, until that video or a live stream, we look forward to see you guys there. And like always, we'll catch you guys in the fog. Peace out, everyone.